Jerk! Let's go! Cam's a shit kicker, 2 bombs in the lead. Soul Dragon Cougar's no time for fatigue. And he's a shit talker, stirring up the show. Never played a shift, but he's ready to...
Welcome into the Chemistry Podcast, episode number
349. Yoink, let's go. Let's go. Happy 4th of July, baby. Let's go. God dang.
I'm sleep deprived.
We'll go to bed.
No, I've been waking up early in the morning, like 5 a.m.
I think that
3 a.m. Can't fall back asleep. Wake back up at 5.
because you're staring at your neighbor's house falling apart.
Did you see that?
What the fuck is that,
Did
dude?
I tell you?
You brought it up last pod.
Yeah.
And then I went over to your house, and I look, and that is unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
His fucking house is
So
falling
I
down.
said, no, it's the gutter.
Dude, his whole front of the house is like sagging.
So that was from, dude, you didn't believe me that we had a tornado.
Dude, that wasn't a tornado, but it's fine. It was a head damage.
It was,
That house is made of
did you
sticks.
see that?
If it was a tornado, it would have
Did
been
you
done.
see the tree stump?
Yeah.
That massive tree that was taken down. They just fixed my fence. Kirkwood Fence, man, I'll give them a shout out.
They did my fence when I was living in Eureka.
Yeah, no,
Damn right, give them a
they're
little
the
shout out.
best.
They're
dude.
good.
And so,
But you got an eyesore in front of you. That's unacceptable
dude,
to do.
So,
Fuck that.
So there was a guy. First off, the kid who lives there, really nice guy. He's like a med school student from
China,
Vietnam, I
that's
believe.
right.
And
ask him about Vietnam. I told you.
we've talked a lot about Vietnam, he and I together. But I feel bad for him, and he said that.
What questions did you ask him, Andy?
So he's rehabbing a house. He said in Webster. The guy who's
living in the dump is
So-
rehabbing another house. That's unacceptable.
no, so he's moving. He bought a house. He said in Webster. He's like a med school student, and so he's moving out of there. So I said, "What?" Because he's renting that house, right?
Oh,
He doesn't own that house.
you got renters in your wow.
The guy across the street. He's a med school student.
Fucking
It's
Hoosier.
only been Vietnamese who have rented out this house from this guy. So I'm on it, and you know how I
No, you're
get.
not.
Yeah. So I had a builder, a friend of mine, call the owner and be like, "What's
This
going
is
on here? We got to
unacceptable."
tear this house down."
Yeah.
Talk to the city, because those are my people over there in the city. But I also talked to the kid who lives there. I say kid, he's probably like 28 years old. And
It's not a kid.
he's like, yeah, the owner tells me like all the insurance companies are backed up. They're trying to get somebody out here to fix this and whatever. So
Sure.
I
How about
almost
cut your
said something
grass?
to a guy today who was cutting the grass.
How about cut your grass? Why don't you go
Yeah.
tell Ty to cut it? Just fucking cut it.
you see those
it's
guys
so
on
bad.
you see those guys on the Instagram who
That's-
like they go up to people's
Yeah.
yards and like clean
And
up
then
their yards for
and
them.
then one of them got like pulled over. A cop almost arrested one guy. He does that for free, but just to build his YouTube content
Yeah.
up. So he's making money
so
off that
maybe
anyway.
I'll do that.
Dude,
If
I would be
go-
mad if I were you.
Hold on.
That's
I know.
unacceptable.
So if I went to
You live in Ladue.
his house and said, I'll clean your yard for free, like
just so I don't have to look at it. That's bullshit.
Dude, I hate looking at it.
It's
I
so
had an issue at my
bad.
old house. I've always had this luck. My old neighbor had like 25 cars at my old house.
Oh,
And I remember the police coming and like ticketing their cars. Like half of them like weren't even like registered.
you
and
got to
shit.
look at your neighbors before you move into some places, man.
I
But that's
know.
but
it didn't look like that before, dude. It's ever since the storm, it's just got they had
Man,
a
it's
ton
been
of
like,
damage.
We've been chirping that for a while.
I know,
He's not
I know.
taking care of that.
That
is so
that
unacceptable.
house will be torn down.
tear down. It's a nice little
eventually.
location. You're right
Yeah.
there.
Well, it'd
you
be
know?
a great location. They'd be right on the corner.
But anyway, I don't want to get too far into that. 4th of July weekend, let's go.
Evander Kane got jumped.
What happened with that?
So I got some sources.
No,
out
I
there.
know. He texted me too. So calm down at 3 o'clock in the morning, of course. And apparently,
No, I have some sources because
I heard it last night
I'm
too.
working the phone.
Oh God, how are your fingers? They good? Andy's tweeting. How many boners have you been getting with those tweets? A lot.
You mean like
Is Lori getting it? Like doing lines of coke all day, baby.
what is it called? Euphoric?
Euphoric high.
How many euphoric highs have I had?
How many are good? Like how many tweets have you got? If you hit on every tweet that hits, you know you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, good for you. So what happened with Evander Kane? He got jumped in his first
No,
day in
so
Vancouver.
I wasn't sure about when the sources
Jesus.
were reaching out,
Yeah.
but then there's like stories that are out now that he had to go to the hospital or something, or had to get some type of medical attention.
Because was he partying like at a club?
Don't know.
That's usually where it goes, you know.
And you know what? Like, it doesn't automatically mean he's at fault either, man.
No,
You
not at
know?
all. I just think that I would hide. You know,
What if somebody was like, "You fucking sucked in the playoffs" or something like that?
you got to suck
and then
that up.
he's like,
Fuck you.
you know,
You got to suck that up. Just like I'll give you an example.
What if they? Can I just give? Because I'm.
Can you keep going? Keep going.
Okay. What if they, like,
So interesting.
put a dent in his Rolls Royce?
Yeah, I don't know. No, you
I'm
don't
just
fight
saying-
people.
I'm just
you
saying,
don't fucking fight
well,
people.
sometimes you have to fight.
Oh yeah, when's the last
I
time
grew
you
up-
fought?
I grew
Have
up-
you ever got punched in the face?
Listen,
Have you ever got punched in the face?
I grew up fighting.
If you don't fight.
No,
you don't
I-
fight
no, no,
anybody.
I grew up fighting.
You get
So-
you'll get jumped just like that.
Yeah.
You just don't mess with it. Listen, you gotta be thick skinned, especially if you're out partying. You
Mhm.
know somebody's gonna chirp you one way or the other. It always happens. You shouldn't be just
There's an
lay
old,
low.
There's an old saying.
Lay low.
There's an old saying we used to have, like, we don't bring forks and knives to our fights. We bring our.
Andy's
bare
ever been
hands.
punched in the face before.
dude,
Oh yeah, by who?
Two brothers.
Oh, I bet.
We used to fight
Ow,
every day.
God.
You don't even
Like
know,
in the backyard,
you
like
don't-
Kimbo Slice.
No,
Andy was back there like
Kimbo Slice.
like Jorge Masvidal.
But I did
That's
get in
funny.
some fights when
No,
I
you
was
didn't.
younger.
It's all good. Who cares? I asked people
but-
at the radio station.
Hold
if they ever
on,
got
let me
punched
just-
in the face. None of them have.
Okay, so listen.
Not one.
So, but I don't think I ever really had. My brothers and I fought all the time.
You've never been
dude.
to a fight. It's all good. You should never. Why would you fight
Yeah,
anybody?
like, why would you?
wouldn't-
But you say it. You ask me the question like it's like bravado to say, "Oh yeah, I fight all the time." Like, dude,
Well,
it's not
if
my.
things went down, you'd be with the women and children. No big deal.
No, I'd
But
have to
you're
like
not, you're
grab.
not a fighter.
I'd have to grab my.
You're not a fighter. dude.
box cutter.
You're
dude.
smart. You're a smart guy. You know.
I would like talk shit sometimes in high school and like have fun. You know,
I
and
could
then
see that.
I'd have like buddies with me who would like
I could see
who
you
fought
doing that.
for me millions of times, like just joking around, and things just kind of got haywire. But like those are friends of mine who like to fight.
Yeah.
There's people who you hang out with, who you're friends with, who just they like fighting and they want to fight.
I don't like hanging out with those guys either.
And I was never a fighter.
We know.
Always a lover.
No, you were.
Man,
He's a heavyweight lover.
I was the. I tried to be the life of the party, man.
What happened to Evander Kane?
He got jumped, dude.
So he
That's
just
all I
got
know.
jumped in Vancouver at a club.
We're
Is that what you're
told he
saying?
got jumped, but who knows how it went
That
down?
sucks, dude.
Where's
Is there
the,
any video
where's
or
the
picture?
cell phone video?
Yeah, it's got to be somewhere. Just stay out of the bullshit, man. Just hide. You're a lightning rod anyway.
You don't hear
have to
too many
hide.
hockey players have off-ice incidents, do you?
Yeah, they're there.
No. You don't hear too many that have off-ice incidents. Like, tell me if you've heard of some recently. Like,
Recently?
no. Like, what do you hear? Like, someone gets pulled over,
No.
going too fast.
No. Oh, Kovalchuk's been getting pulled over, like, I guess,
Okay.
left and right. He had like 100 outstanding tickets. Or
Do you know, like in Finland, like they'll like send you like to jail for that, dude?
Oh, you smoke weed in Finland, they'll throw you in jail, I think.
Really?
Yeah. I think Snoop Dogg got stuck there because he had weed, and they pulled him over, pulled his bus over, checked everything.
I
Like,
was
they're
talking
really
to a player
strict.
the other day who said, like, even playing like professionally over in Sweden and stuff like that, it's not that funny. It's like you can't like drink before the night before the games. You can't even have a beer.
According to who? The coach?
A player. Who
Wait,
said,
no,
like,
about like
he-
what?
Oh, the organization. If they find out like you're drinking the night before, like even a beer or two, like you can't have a beer after the game.
Calm down.
You can't do any of that shit there.
Really?
Yeah,
Never heard of that.
it's very.
That's
very
hard to
s-
get people.
Very
If you're that strict over there, no one's going to want to go over there. and
Well,
play.
it's not like they fine you or like suspend you, but I think it's frowned upon.
Well, it's always frowned upon to drink the night before a game.
Mhm.
You never want to do that, but you do.
hmm
You know, like, do you think Lou wanted us drinking?
Did
We had,
you-
we had to hide everything.
Did you ever not drink before the game, the night before the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you'd be able to shut it down just for.
I was doing, no, because I was probably eating fucking
Did you go
painkillers.
dry?
Yeah. No. No, I
I think Matthew Tkachuk told us when he was here last year that he didn't drink the entire playoffs. I would imagine he did the same thing. Chelios used to do that. He
Yeah.
wouldn't drink in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
I used to not be that big of a drinker, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah. Because I was doing other things.
I wasn't either. Really.
And then now I'm a fucking mess with beer. Like, beer, fucking, I drink a ton of it, man.
yeah, you like it.
I
huh?
like beer. Fuck, I'm going to be drinking a ton this 4th of July weekend. It's nice that 4th of July lands on a Friday. That's
Oh.
great. My God almighty.
Yeah, but it's always nice when those holidays land on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday because
Yeah, but you'd
you
have
get
to
the- You
work.
get the day off.
I don't know. I think we would have to work
If
Monday.
It's like on like a well.
Well, Monday we'd have to work one way or the other. So it's just nice to have a
Yeah.
3-day weekend, man.
No, it
4th of
is.
July.
God, I am so tired.
Do they
right
celebrate
now.
the
I'm
4th of
so
July in your
sleepy right now from
Do they
my,
celebrate the 4th of July in your subdivision? Probably not, eh? No.
not as much
No.
as you know.
I didn't like that. You have
okay,
a beautiful fucking house.
Okay.
Your house is beautiful.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Mhm.
And that scumbag, literally right
He
across.
doesn't live there. The guy who owns it doesn't live there.
I know. They're scumbags. You
Yeah.
got to talk to that guy. That's
Yeah.
unacceptable.
I know. So I almost said something to the guy who was
Motherfucker.
cutting grass today, but I didn't think he was the owner of the house.
Jeez Louise. Are you upset that St. Louis didn't get a WNBA team?
Oh, do we find that out?
Did you hear about the expansion?
Can I tell you something?
$250 million they spent on
Can
these
I
teams?
tell you something I'm dealing with right now?
What?
So I see these pair of shoes online, and I'm like, damn, dude, I might get these. I go in there, they have my size.
Sandals?
No.
Disgusting.
So I was gonna buy them. Beautiful colorway. I mean, just perfect colors.
Yeah.
I like some navy blue. I like a lot of navy blue and whatnot. And as I'm going over the shoe, I realize it's Caitlin Clark's shoe.
Oh, it's yeah.
She has her own shoe coming out.
For men?
It's a badass shoe.
For men?
I don't know if it's for men and women or just for women. I think they
Did
need
you buy
to-
them?
I almost did.
How much?
I didn't get to that
They're
point.
Nike.
They're sweet, dude. Have you seen what they look like?
Yeah, I ain't getting those.
Dude, if I show
Yeah,
them to you.
What are you
I-
wearing,
I
Caitlin
may-
Clark?
I may have to
You
like,
would do that.
I may have to get Caitlin shoes.
You would go to games here, wouldn't you?
No.
Yeah, you would.
Oh, I'd
WNBA?
I'd try to call the games.
Yeah.
I would.
They spent $250 million on expansion teams each. How does that work?
So they didn't get a team here in St. Louis?
No. I
Dude,
think
look
it's
how
Detroit.
sweet
And
these
fucking,
are.
let me see those bad boys real quick.
It's
What
bad.
about Asia Wilson? Yeah, I don't know. Those basketball shoes, they look like track shoes.
Oh, so they have the green ones too.
Do they even wear high tops, the women? They wear high tops?
A lot of the men don't wear high tops anymore.
Not anymore?
No.
Interesting.
A lot of them wear like the mid top or the low top now. Yeah, you don't see too many traditional high tops like you did back in the day.
How was the draft? What'd you think of the whole setup and all that stuff?
Well, it's gotten absolutely destroyed. I mean, it's just been absolutely crushed. It was among the worst television productions we've seen in quite a while, I would say, in comparison to some of the fiascos we saw with the award show, which they finally got away from that. Because I'll give the NHL a shout out because I like how they've done the awards this year, surprising the winners with family and stuff like that. I think that's cool. But I'm not going to blame the league for this one because from what I understand, I don't think the league is too happy about it either. They didn't like it. They didn't want this. The general managers wanted it. And I understand when you talk to GMs and you hear their side of it, I understand why they would want it this way. Because when you look at the draft ending on Saturday the 28th, and all of a sudden now you got to fly from LA all the way back to your home, and then boom, free agency starts right there
Yeah.
and there.
I
I
get
mean,
that.
it's too close together. The easy fix would be to push free agency back to start like July 3rd or so. And then you're not having, such a quick turnaround between the draft and free agency. So that was the biggest issue. This was all about that. The GM said, hey, listen, instead of traveling, I know people are saying, well, saving money and whatever. You still got to bring all your scouts into your hometown. They don't live here. You still got to put them up in hotels. I'm sure you're still doing some team dinners and stuff like that. It probably makes it easier because you're coming straight back from the draft, getting right into development camp, which starts today for a lot of teams. So, but they just gotta
Speed it up.
make some adjustments.
Speed it up a little bit.
You know what I'm saying? So, because
Yeah.
here's where it got awkward: is where you have the player. Okay, fine. So they come up and the team's not there. Nobody would even think twice about it. It's all good. But then you have them talk to the staff in a room on a Zoom, and they're staring at this video board.
Connections going out.
And you're having audio issues with
Yeah.
certain teams like Boston. They couldn't even hear and then now all of a sudden it just becomes super uncomfortable, super awkward. Think about being an 18-year-old kid. Your life just changed in an instant. You just got drafted in the National Hockey League. First round pick. You're nervous as shit. You have so many emotions. I mean, this poor Matthew Schaefer kid, man. I mean, he's just so emotional. The emotions spilling out of him because of his mom passing away and all of that.
The Islanders did a good job with that.
And
by the way.
oh my God,
They did a
they
great
ever.
job.
I love that kid, by the way.
Yeah,
he
he seems cool.
He is awesome. He is. I hope he has just instant success playing with the Islanders. But now you're expecting him to talk to the management.
so what
on
with
Zoom.
that though?
Yeah,
Fuck
but
that. You're
put him
fucking
on the phone, man. Put him on the phone or what? I'm just saying.
You should be able to talk to fucking Army when.
But
it's 2
yeah,
seconds.
but it creates for awkward. I'm not talking about the Matthew Schaefer situation. I mean, honestly, that was probably pretty good TV because he was
great.
so emotional.
Yeah, it was sad and.
But
heartwarming.
you could still have the same emotion when he's talking to that lady up up on the podium or whatever and doing the interview and stuff like that. I'm just saying, let them talk to management and whatever, but you got to make sure that all the logistics and all the connections and everything's okay. Because once it's not, Cam, it just turns into a very
into a shit
uncomfortable,
show. Yeah.
awkward broadcast, and that's kind of
Speed
what
the
it was.
goddamn thing up.
And that's another thing.
Speed it up. Like you got Nikki Glaser come out. She's got to tell a joke first, and then like, oh god.
But it took too long.
She's like, who am I rooting for? Oh yeah, the Blues.
They gave her the kid who like played in the Quebec League, like the most, the hardest team to pronounce in the entire draft.
yeah. And like she's got to go up there and do a skit, then somebody else has to do a skit, and they and I get like Adam Sandler was representing Boston.
Yeah, but I don't mind that.
I just
and I was there because I was working it, and so I saw Nikki Glaser do her thing. I didn't go out to the floor to see it. No, everybody was back here in St. Louis.
Oh, that's right. She was,
but I was hunkered down here. She was here.
That's right.
She was here. So she was hanging out all night long, like right in the same room and whatever.
Nothing against her. It just was. Let's go. Let's go.
No, so that's the one thing about having this process. It just stretched out the draft, even in day 2. I mean, this thing was going at a snail's pace.
Speed it up.
And the people on the telecast, the broadcast, who have done drafts in the past, they're like, "This is I've never seen a draft go this slow." Because typically on the second day, I think you get 3 minutes between selections, but teams are ready to rock and roll.
Let's go. We know who we want.
They're on the mic. They know who they're taking, and they say it right off the bat.
So, what was I going to say? Who was on the panel? It was Beuchy Grouse,
Bucci,
and then Kaplan, and then what's the blonde Megan Schenka?
Shaika.
Beautiful woman. Jesus. What? Beautiful woman. No big deal.
Shaika.
Gorgeous. I don't know too much about her, but I'm like, who's this? Did she play?
No.
Okay.
She's like an analytics girl, I think.
Oh, interesting. Mm-hmm. Too long. Speed it up. My God.
And then you had...
Speed it up. I wish...
Who else was on there? Was there another person on there besides Bucci?
I don't know. But I like the Blues pick seemed pretty cool, man. You in a good interview with him.
Thank you, yeah.
But you know who I wanted.
Yeah, no.
You know who I wanted.
Aitchison.
Watch those highlights, man.
Kayshawn.
People were fucking sending me highlights of this shit.
What's his first name?
I thought it was Anton or something.
Shakon.
Something like that.
Kayshawn.
Keyshawn Atkinson.
Aitchison.
From the Dub.
He's like
knocking guys out. With
literally
hits.
Crushing people.
Literally. Scott Stevens knocking guys out. He hit a guy so freaking hard. His teammate got hit. They both were freaking knocked out. He was killing guys.
Kayshawn Aitchison.
That kid right there. Got to give him a shout out. Watch his highlights.
6'2", 196.
Smashes cats.
Yeah, he plays in the OHL
like
for Barrie. I didn't think
okay. I thought he was in the Dub.
No.
He like Phaneuf back in the day. Just smashing guys.
And it's so funny because
I was hoping the Blues
it's
would grab
such a outlier. Like you don't see anyone play like that ever. You're like,
I
what?
know.
All the highlights, like of every defenseman you saw get drafted, every highlight package, he's the only one that I saw stepping up and like crushing
guys like Scott Stevens.
Kids.
Open ice hits. Open ice.
Like looking to hurt somebody.
I'm gonna get you. Everything falls into place and boom.
Looking to hurt somebody. I don't think he was on the Blues radar, just so you
Really?
know. No.
He was on my radar.
Yeah. Well, you didn't know who he was till he was drafted, probably.
No. I knew before that.
You did?
Yeah. My buddies kept sending me freaking highlights of this guy. I go, who is this kid? I didn't know he was going to be a first rounder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aitchison.
So when the Islanders grab, they're going to be Jesus Islanders.
I like what they did.
I like everything about them right now, man.
Well, I do. And I feel like they needed. Darchie's cool.
Played with him. Nicest guy.
They needed like a turnover. They needed something.
Right. You're 100% right.
Remember I said that a long time ago.
I know you did.
About Lou.
I know you did.
And I said, is it time?
I had a dream about him last night.
Oh, my God.
Really weird.
That sounds...
Son of a bitch.
Are you sure you want to share what it was about?
It was a weird... he was in my dream last night.
You should share that.
It wasn't anything bizarro land, but he was there.
Did you wake up scared, nervous?
I kind of woke up a little nervous, like, God dang. I gotta get my shit together. Maybe he's still watching me. Maybe it was a sign.
Possibly.
Interesting.
I told you what's going to happen when I pass away. I'm gonna be a feather that's going to come fall on your feet.
Get that thing out of here! It's always there.
Let's hope that doesn't happen for a long time. I hate even talking like that and putting that out into the universe.
But if I do go to heaven,
I'm very spiritual.
If I do go to heaven, I know exactly what I want to see when I first open the gates.
Your mom.
My mom holding little Boo Boo and all the animals
Boo-Boo's
I've ever.
Not there.
Excuse me?
You think animals go to heaven?
God dang right. You ever see the clips on Instagram? It makes me cry every fucking time. Where they show the little kitty cat running through the thing. Like this is what I want to see whenever I go to
I've
heaven.
never seen that commercial.
Is all the animals you had that you loved, and
Oh
your
my
mom and your grandma,
God.
and they're just right there. And I walk in like, hey, they're all this waiting.
Well,
like,
I'll tell you one way you can
That's what
make
I
that
want.
happen, dude. You gotta.
that's what I want.
You gotta spread her ashes.
I did. No, my dad's got those. Oh, I'm sorry. My dad has those.
I'm talking about the cat. Oh my God, dude! I'm not talking about the cat.
I have a wind chime that talks to me every day.
Because I have Sierra's ashes, and I put them in our favorite
God,
places.
dude, I'm still fucked up on that.
I put them in our favorite places in the woods and very
no, I know.
different places.
My dad used to. He took a couple ashes from our animals to Mark Twain Lake.
Okay,
stuff like
different
that.
things like that. So maybe if you do that, Boo Boo could be in heaven. I don't
She
know.
is.
Did your mom like the cat?
Oh my God!
Did she?
Yes. My mom would come over and bang on my door just to see my animals all the time.
Oh my God!
Oh, yeah.
What's it like having a connection to a cat like that?
I don't know.
I've
don't
never
know.
met anyone like that,
dude. I've gotten chirped for it,
Mm-hmm.
and then Brandon Bollig has a cat now, and guys that came over and saw Boo and how cute she was and what she did, they started like, dude.
I saw Boo. I mean, she was frail. At
She
the
didn't
time
like
when
you.
I saw
She didn't
her.
like you. She was slowly dying, is what she was doing.
Oh, she was frail. She was like, it's like you hadn't fed the cat. It looked like you hadn't fed that
She
cat.
was
in
eating
so
and it
long.
went right through her.
Oh my God!
17 years old. Damn good kitty cat.
You don't know that.
She was a damn good kitty.
You don't know she was 17. Let's face it.
I got her
'cause
when
you
I was
didn't know how old she was when you got her.
She's a kitten. What do you mean? She's a kitten. Wait, she could be older? She's a kitten. I got her as a kitten. She was in a shoebox on the side of the goddamn road, and we rescued her. Because that's what I do.
Did you get the cat declawed?
No, I've always had dogs, and she needed to have a weapon.
Dude, these black bears in Tahoe and different places are like attacking people.
Black bears are now?
Black bears are attacking.
That's usually not the case.
They
They're
had to
skittish.
euthanize the bear. They had to take it out.
Yeah, if it attacks somebody, you're going to have to put it downtown Chinatown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to be careful of that.
How about that kid from China that got drafted?
the second to
China.
last overall?
I got his name right here.
Yang?
Simon Wang.
Simon Yang?
Wang.
I think it's
Wang.
I'm pretty sure it's X-A-N-G.
Wang.
Is it?
I think so.
Is it X?
Simon Wang. Big boy from China.
There's a couple of Wangs in my neighborhood.
I know there is. There's a lot.
Yeah, but I haven't seen any
Very
kids. I didn't
multicultural.
see any kids like playing hockey in the driveway and stuff like
they're
that.
not,
besides
because
that.
they're not doing that. They don't even know what hockey is.
But I would wonder if
You just want them to speak English.
I wonder
so
if
you
there's
can
any
communicate.
if there's any relation. Though.
Are they bitching about your neighbor? They gotta be.
Pervine is next door.
Tell Pervine to fucking, I don't know, make him some curry and fucking clean up that goddamn
Pervine's
dump.
not happy about it.
He shouldn't
But
be.
I'm not. I almost went up to the guy cutting the grass today and be like, "Listen, this is not.
This is
This
unacceptable.
is not good enough, dude. Like, what are we doing?"
God, I'd be pissed if I were you. You couldn't have that in my neighborhood, boy. Not in my neighborhood. Woo, doggy. No.
But it does. I'm glad you saw it from the standpoint.
Whoa.
That
Kate and I are like, that's fucking unacceptable.
yeah. I'm glad you saw it because
You live in Ladue. You pay
know.
high taxes,
I know.
dude. Are you kidding?
they've been trying to get that guy to sell that house forever. He won't do it.
Oh, I'd be so
But he doesn't
pissed.
live there.
The Hoosiers I grew up with. Oh, man, I grew up with some Hoosiers back in the day. I'd go to their house. These Hoosiers I used to live by, who I loved their son, and I'd walk in there, and his sisters were literally picking out lice and putting in ashtrays, smoking darts. They're doing fucking meth in the other room. I saw
God,
all
that's-
this as a
that's
kid.
not just Hoosiers.
I saw
That's
all this
like-
as a kid.
That's like
It's horrible.
Where are you being raised?
I
dude?
grew up on Lynch Road, way out in the middle of the woods, and our neighbor behind us were fucking meth heads.
Do your parents know that?
Yeah. But I was friends with their son, and I'd go there, and it was just a fucking Hoosier
Chloe's
yeah,
Chloe's mad at me right now because
doing meth.
she's going to the Ozarks for the 4th of July, which is making me very nervous.
She's fine. She's going with parents, though.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
No, she is.
Yeah, okay.
So
Be
there's
careful on that jet ski. Don't play with me on that.
I know.
Did you tell her that?
no. Oh yeah, I have.
Because she
told
has
her.
no idea what the
No,
fuck
she
she's
has
doing.
no idea.
And you're not going out in the goddamn main
Dude,
channel
no.
in 4th of July
No.
weekend. She'll get swamped and
I
run
know,
over.
I know.
Happens every weekend.
I know.
Don't play with me.
So, but she wanted to go down a day early with her friend and her friend's 18-year-old brother who was driving down there. And then
Whoa, Andy.
And one of the set of
Whoa.
parents is already there.
How old is she?
My daughter?
Yeah.
14. But I said no. I said you got to go to the next day with the parents driving. Is that bad of me?
No. She's 14.
I was like,
Hanging out with an 18-year-old?
no, dude, it's her. The family has a house down
Okay,
there.
I'm
So
just-
her
you told me.
brother is driving down there.
Okay, that's
the parents are already down there, but there's another
That's
set of
okay.
the mom who's already down there has a twin sister who her and her husband and her daughter are also friends with my daughter. And so they're
Okay.
driving down. They're all staying in the same house.
Just-
It's like a family house.
Yeah.
But
so
I was
there's
like,
parents
just
there.
wait
You're
the
fine.
next
You're
day
fine.
and drive down with the parents. I don't think you got to go down the day before and drive down. I'm sure the 18-year-old kid, listen, when I was 18, I could easily drive to the Ozarks, no problem.
No offense.
okay?
When I was 18, I'm not hanging out with 14-year-olds, even if
They're
it's my
not
sister.
hanging out, dude.
Yeah, but he's taking them down there. I
His
don't know. Then why won't you do it
sister
then?
And his friends.
Then why don't you go then?
I don't want her to go drive with a teenager down there. And I'd rather her for safety reasons. Dude.
Okay.
It's not like
Is that-
your mind's going in a completely different
All right.
place. I'm not getting weirded out by that. I just don't want a teenager driving her down there
Yeah, it's a far
3
way.
or 4 hours.
Yeah, and the roads are down there are shady
no,
too. Once
so
you get
just
to
drive
them.
down with the parents,
That's
I'd feel
fine.
more comfortable with that.
But I'd say I thought you meant that 18-year-old and his buddies are down there, and then Chloe
Yeah, no, they're
are
not
hanging out
No,
without
it's
the
like-
parents there yet.
no, like all the kids take friends and stuff like
Okay.
that. You know what I'm saying?
Just don't fucking drive that goddamn
Jet ski.
jet ski
Yeah.
in the main channel with 3 other girls in the back, and you can't
Mhm.
see, and you turn right into a boat. It's going to be so chaotic out there. You just got to be careful. That's all. And we're going to read stories about somebody fucking going head on with another boat. You know, a drowning, a this, a
I
that.
don't
It's
want to hear
chaos.
about that. I don't
It's
want to hear
chaos
about
down
that.
there, especially 4th of July. Yay, yay, yay. Chaos, man.
You know, I've never
gonna be
been.
hot, too.
Never been there.
To Lake?
Is it going to be hot on 4th of July?
Fuck yeah.
Damn.
Hell yeah. It's going to be hot, 95,
Mm.
humid. St. Louis sucks in the summer, man.
It does.
It sucks. It's so depressing.
sucks.
It is. I don't mind the winter. I don't care if it gets cold.
Oh,
I don't
I'd
care.
rather be freezing cold.
I'd rather be cold, man. Our falls are great. Our springs are great.
We
but
don't
we get rocked
have much of a fall or a spring.
Yeah, we have a fall.
That's where it's changed.
Our fall's pretty good. Our fall's damn good.
The
We don't
Oklahoma-
have much of a spring anymore because it gets cold and then all of a sudden it's rainy for 2 weeks and then it's 100.
Gary Green, who is a very
100 degrees.
famous meteorologist, among the best in the world, like he had an explanation for this recently as to why we're not getting much of a fall and much of a spring. I gotta go.
What'd
back
he say?
and- I don't remember.
Oh, you
exact-
forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I don't
Way to
remember
bring that
exactly
up.
what he said.
Way to bring that up.
But I'll have to go back and look at that. What do you make out of all this like tampering talk?
I don't know what to think of that.
So
There's a couple different ones, right? Like there was tampering
there's
with the Mitch Marner, but then there were. What about the God? What else did I read?
there's always tampering.
The Edmonton Oilers had something going on how they, with their LTR or guys that were injured.
No, there was something like an investigation, I think, with into Evander Kane,
Yeah,
him coming back and playing
yeah,
or
but
something.
how bizarre is that compared to like, you got Aaron Ekblad, who gets suspended for doing performance enhancing drugs, and then his contract's off the books, so
Mhm.
you could. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, well, regardless, anyway, so people are. It was reported. Elliot Friedman reported this.
Yeah.
That maybe there's something there with some tampering with the Vegas and Mitch Marner, but the penalties are pretty severe. You're talking like $5 million fines
Big
and all this
time
type of
severe.
stuff. But I did reach out to the league. I mean, high-ranking source, and I tweeted it out this morning. And that high-ranking source, because I said, hey, listen, how do you go about proving it? Like, can the league subpoena cell phones from teams? Because you
know.
can't do it from the player, I wouldn't think, and you can't do it from an agent, because that's a players' association division, right? The league doesn't have power over the player per se from that standpoint. But I would think they could probably get a hold of a team's cell phone if they were doing an investigation. But the league source got right back to me, and he said, I think this is much to do about nothing, was his exact quote. He
Oh, really?
goes, in order for there to be an investigation, there first has to be a complaint, and we have received 0 complaints. So Toronto hasn't complained about any type of tampering that went on with
So what's the word? then?
Vegas and Mitch Marner as of late yesterday. So if anything changes between then and
Yeah.
now, or if something happens down the road here, then that would be new information. But as it sits as of late last night, there hasn't been any formal complaints. So therefore, there won't be any investigation. And listen, I know that everyone thinks everybody tampers and whatever. I think there's a lot of communication and a lot of groundwork that is laid between teams and players when you get to the days leading up to free agency. If you remember, not long ago, you used to have that window where you used to be able to talk to teams and get an idea. But I do think the smart general managers are reaching out to agents and saying, hey, listen, we'd have interest in your player if he becomes available. But I don't think they're kicking around. A lot of them, some probably are. And this is where you get into tampering. When you start kicking around an actual negotiation.
A
Numbers and term. And
yeah, but can't you just be cryptic about it?
I think
don't you understand?
I think you can be. Yeah,
it's like when you watch Tony Soprano and The Sopranos, and he's talking to another gangster, and they have to have cryptic code. You know exactly what you're talking about.
Because I'll give you an example.
How do you not do that?
Like like Doug Armstrong, for example. Like when I talk to agents and stuff like that. Like it's not like about, hey, would St. Louis have interest? He's like, I don't know. We'll find out on the first. Like they're not going there. Like Army's not looking to negotiate the contract beforehand. I think he does go about it the right way. I think a lot of other general managers do the same thing. I think there's ways to get information out to let the player know, hey, we're very interested. And for the player to let the team know, we're also
How do you get caught doing this? So how does
well,
this
that's the thing. How do you prove it?
So what happened?
So are you going to turn over some type of information? And is it really worth it? Like if you're Toronto, would you do that? Would you go rat out the Vegas Golden Knights if you feel like they tampered? Listen.
To set them back a little bit, maybe.
Mitch Marner has been, and maybe you would. I don't know.
You
Mitch Marner has been telling other players, from what I understand, I've talked to a few players about this recently, that he's going to Vegas for over a year now. He's been telling players that, friends of his in the industry, friends of his in the NHL. He's been saying, "Hey, listen, I want talking Vegas for over a year."
I would.
So
too.
I think this has been in the plans and been in the books for him.
If I'm Mitchie Marner, I'll go to Vegas too.
So,
how's Petro? He's out. Is he ever going to play again?
Well, listen. Here's the situation with Petro, and like we talked about this a few weeks ago. I think I got a text, remember, during a recording. And
hips.
He's got a hip issue, right? I reported that this morning. And I think the initial feeling was that he was going to need surgery to repair the hip. And I think there may be some other issues too, but he's got some, a significant hip injury, which is, preventing him from being able to play. And I think he made the decision, for what I understand, to not have the surgery, not follow through with the surgery, and just rehab the injury and then see where it goes. But
I don't know.
I don't get the sense that at this stage of his career, without very much else to accomplish, he's won cups, he's won gold medals, all that type of stuff, is it really worth putting your body through all of that? Now, I look at it a few different ways, and I say, well, hey, you might as well get it done while the team's going to pay for it and while you have all their facilities to rehab
there
it.
You go.
And if you're gonna need to get it done at some point, and if it means you can have a better quality of life,
100%,
in terms of raising your kids and playing golf and doing all that type of stuff. But if it's not going to prevent you from doing any of that, then I don't blame him for wanting to have surgery.
I wish I would have got my teeth knocked out so I get veneers.
But even if he was going to have to rehab it, I just don't think he's very optimistic that he's going to be able to come back and play. I don't think
a ton of money, man.
I don't think they've officially shut the door, but I don't think that there's a whole lot of optimism coming from his side, or certainly the team side, that he's going to be able to come back and play. And these things just typically kind of just happen.
Hey, Torrey Krug's going through the same thing.
For Vegas, though, I know. But this is right before they're about to sign, a big prize free agent. They just find a way.
Petro's pretty dang good.
I know.
You want him out all year? I don't know.
No, you don't.
Fuck no, you don't.
He's got 2 years left on his deal.
What do you think about the new CBA?
It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, listen.
Right? I mean,
you can get into all the individual different things. I find it all interesting and fascinating.
Yeah.
I haven't read through all of it, but obviously I've seen a lot of the same stuff that everybody else has. And I will, because I do, when I go to the beach, when I have my vacation, maybe I'll bring the CBA with me and read that on the beach or something like that.
God. You can read the big, beautiful bill, too? 900 pages?
So, no, but the best thing is that we have labor peace, and both sides seem to be on the same page.
For 4 years, but
well, I know, but there's another year left of that. So it's still 29-30.
Cool. Yeah,
we're not gonna be like,
84 regular season
dealing
games.
with the potential of not having a season.
84 regular season games, and then
I don't get all that
preseason.
I guess the owners want an extra home game.
Sure.
Okay.
It's $1 million.
And fewer preseason games.
I get that.
The preseason games, listen, training camp's long, so it's been reduced to like 13 days now for training camp.
It's not
Okay.
long at all.
But I will say, not having a couple extra preseason games, isn't great for the fringe player or the player that's never going to play in the NHL, whose only opportunity to ever put an NHL jersey on and to play in an NHL event is in the preseason.
You have a lot of looks.
So maybe you're not going to get an opportunity there. But,
You got a
lot of these preseason games nowadays are played in neutral sites. They've got different things that take place. And, you go to Kansas City, you go to Wichita, you go to different places to play games. So,
day of the game too.
always.
Just go fly in, play, get out.
It is what it is. I could care less about the preseason.
How many guys like really are on the fringe that are really going to make a team? I mean, there's one or two guys that probably have a chance to steal a spot.
But
not many.
No, but if I'm a scout,
I want to see.
I'd like to see a kid who I know that is a couple years away, but I want to see.
But you're scrimmaging all the time. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but if you're going up against a team that's got a lot of NHLers in the lineup, and you want to see how he performs,
Or
against,
centerman, or a defenseman. I get
how
that.
he plays in that type of situation. But again, it's just it's not a big enough deal for me. I don't.
How nerdy
really
are the
care.
players going to be with the dress code?
Well, is this going to turn?
Are they going to turn into
Is this going to turn into Russell Westbrook and?
Like a fury? Are they going to be like a what do they call a fury or something like that? Furry.
Are they going to have purses and stuff like that? And big extra baggy
little
clothes?
man
Who's the
bags?
one player you could see doing that?
Austin Matthews,
Or Evander Kane, maybe.
Kane. Actually, he might dress sharp. Looks good when you
Some
have
of
a
these
suit
Europeans are like, I don't know, all I ever wear are like Lululemon pants and a
Lululemon.
Lululemon golf shirt.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing anything else.
So
It's like,
what?
Exactly.
Just be
so
comfortable.
Just wear whatever
Dude,
you want.
with the Devils, like even in the minors, we'd have to have our suit. Those 10-hour bus rides, and there's fucking salad dressing everywhere.
Now,
Guys are
if
fucking
he
nasty.
was still a GM, he may have an internal. Although I don't think you're allowed to force it on your players, though. You can't do that.
Lou? Yeah.
Lou picked the perfect time.
What a weird dream.
They picked the perfect time to initiate this rule, right when Lou Lamoriello is
Can
no
we
longer
get him
in the
on
NHL.
though, homie?
We might.
You
We'll wait it.
Yeah, we'll wait till things
I
settle
don't
down a
need
little
him
bit.
getting mad at you again.
I know. Stupid question I asked him. Stupid. How good of a player were you when you were young? What a dummy I am. God. So dumb. Oh, Ebugs for every team. How does that work?
Well, I think they're going to get paid a little bit of money.
Good. Listen, guy, look, say what you want, but we got a guy, Tyler Stewart, here in St. Louis. Dude, he worked his ass off for the Blues. Like, he really did. Now, does he tweet a little too much? Maybe. But, anytime Petro or Vladdy or any of those guys were like, hey, I need a fucking goalie, he'd stop what he was doing. He'd go there and he'd practice for an hour getting pucks ripped at him 100 miles an hour. And then you got to sit in every single home game and just wait.
Yeah, so now
It's-
you can
now-
sit back and you can work
You need
out
goalies like that around.
Oh, you
dude.
do.
You need goalies
Listen,
like that around.
I've
You really
always
do.
said it's the most embarrassing thing. It makes hockey look so bad.
Stupid.
Do you know that
Looks stupid.
Ty's team that he's been playing with this spring, one of the dads was an Ebug before, and he almost played in a game
How about the kid in Toronto?
with the Coyotes.
The
But
Zamboni
could
driver.
you imagine playing in an NHL game and then all of a sudden like their goalie gets hurt and they don't have another goalie. That'd be like in football. We've always said like if your quarterback gets hurt and you get to pull somebody out of the stands who sells insurance.
No, but a guy on the team knows how to throw the ball.
Who played high school football.
Well, it's just like with baseball.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting shit kicked 10-0 in the ninth inning. You got a position player
I
getting
know.
dinged
When it's like 16-1.
just throwing like lob. And this young kid was a rookie, and he hits his first dinger off a position player, and he's like, motherfucker. That's goofy too. But I don't know. There's a couple of little things in there. But I think the NHL is healthy right now. I'll tell you what, though, that Brad Treliving, I give him a little shout out. You know what I mean? I thought that maybe Matthew Nyes, maybe he would get a lot more money than that. Not at all. John Tavares, we thought maybe he'd get a lot more money. He's been stingy.
I didn't think Tavares would get more money. I think
Yes,
Tavares,
you did.
If he were to go in the open market, I said Brock Nelson got 7.5.
Exactly.
If this guy were to go in the open market, he should be
It's a
able to
big
command.
difference.
But he took, and he even came out and said, "I left money on the table."
He did.
I'm surprised he did that.
Good for Brad
but,
Treliving.
but maybe
though.
he's like, well, they just paid me $11 million for
No
the last
doubt.
7 years. So if you don't want to leave, and you've made enough money, it's like Jamie Benn. He maybe could have gotten a little more money too.
Probably.
Signed a
You don't wanna
$1
leave
million
Dallas.
deal
With
a bunch of bonuses, easily attainable bonuses.
Yeah.
Maybe not winning the cup and whatever is easy, but in terms of games played and whatever, he's still going to make a bunch of money. Like, listen, this wouldn't be the popular opinion or route to take if you're Brad Marchand. But if he really believed in his game, which I know he does, and I know he's just going to want the, the certainty and having the long term contract and the security. But if I were him, the most money he could get would probably be to do a 1-year deal and have a shit ton of bonuses built into it.
Yeah.
And then extend it on January 1st when they can extend it. Because these contracts that have the 35 and over bonuses, you can only sign 1-year deals. You can't do a multi-year deal with that. So, but if you really want to make the most money, it's probably how he could do it. But this idea that somebody's going to pay this guy $8 million, I mean, somebody might. I mean, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
There's just no warning signs when it's going to drop off. He's 37, man. He was in a perfect situation.
They complimented him perfectly. I mean,
well, he had the right players surrounding him. He was on the third line.
Yeah.
What happens when you go on the third line, Cam?
Well, you don't get that much ice time.
No, you do. What kind of matchup are you getting?
Oh, well, you're getting their third line matchup.
Right,
for the most
and
part,
they're usually their third pair of defensemen,
Yeah.
right? I mean, the other team's best players, our best defensemen, they're matching up against Reinhart and Barkov and Verhaeghe and
what was the
Tkachuk
average in
and
ice
Bennett
time?
and all these guys.
What was he averaging? Ice time
in Florida? I'll look
15
that up.
minutes?
So all of a sudden you start
14?
paying a guy $8 million plus or whatever.
That's your first line.
Then
20-minute
you're
guy.
going to put him on the third line.
Yeah.
So that's
No,
not
no,
going to
no.
happen. So
Nah.
I don't know what he'll get. It'll be interesting to see. I'm really curious to see what he ends up signing. He's been pretty quiet from what I understand.
Well, he's probably sleeping
Yeah, he needs to.
from goddamn partying.
Would you?
Poison ivy.
It's always interesting how a player like Marchand could have this hatred for Toronto all these years and then go sign with them.
Sure.
That didn't used to happen. I think Chris Webber, a former basketball player, he was 6'10". He had great skills, Cam. He could
He fucked up in the college, right?
in the
Didn't he call a
championship game,
timeout?
he called the timeout.
Yeah, like no, we don't have any timeouts.
I know.
Yeah.
He was so good, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was saying like back when he was a free agent, because we were talking about all these NBA players now that like go join other superstars and they create these super teams.
Like
And-
LeBron.
And he was like, yeah, man, I probably would do the same thing today because that's the climate of the league. That's how it is. Everyone wants to go play with your boys and whatever. But he didn't play that long ago. But he said, when I was playing, like that was never even thought of because you had teams that you hated. And you were like, I'll never play for those guys. I'll never go there. So
I don't believe that for
what
a
do you
second.
mean?
I hate that team. No, you don't. They offered you fucking money and you're the big dog there? What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
but he
You
didn't-
don't like the team,
He
maybe.
didn't have to.
You know what I mean, though?
He
Like,
didn't have to sign with those guys.
I hate the
It's not like-
Rangers because
it's-
we.
Yeah, but
I'll
for
play
him,
for 'em.
Cam, it's not like just the team you hate is the only team offering you big money. You have a bunch of teams offering you big money, so you have choices.
Define hatred. You
like,
hate their.
like you played against them in
You
the
hate the
playoffs probably
players,
several times,
and they
you
beat
hate
you.
the players.
and they hate the players.
You may have won. Who knows?
But then, if you're on that team, you love the players.
I get you.
Is the city nice?
I'm just saying what he
Is
said.
the city nice? I just don't believe what he said.
You really
That's,
don't believe
no.
that?
No, I don't at all. Like, I don't think anybody. I hated Toronto my whole life. We'll fucking offer you money. I'll go play there, though. Goddamn right.
Well, there's a reason
know.
why teams don't like to deal with other teams in the same division.
How about that
and stuff
American
like
white boy drafted #1 in the NBA?
that. I know. First
Son of a bitch.
white player since 1978.
Who is he?
man.
I have it in my
I
notes.
forgot his name.
I'll give it to you right now. His name
To be
is
drafted first overall.
Kent Benson, 1977. I think he got into a fight with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar his
Did
first
he?
game and got punched in the face.
Oh my God.
Little white boy, Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
American white boy. Big difference.
Yeah, it is.
American white boy.
Yeah. First one since
Not a goddamn
1978. Isn't that amazing?
77.
77.
Because I don't know what to think of that. I guess there's different options here for the
Is-
big, tall white boys. They
is
want to be
he-
a quarterback.
Is he white?
He looked white to me.
Mm.
Is he Indian?
I've seen him play, dude.
You Jewish?
I
What,
don't
Jew-
think he is.
what is he?
Jewish. But Jewish can be white.
I would
know.
say
Yeah.
Jewish and white is the same thing.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, is he white when you watch him play? I don't know. if
Show
I
me a
s-
picture of him. I could look right now and tell you if he's got
Yeah,
blue eyes,
I
blonde hair.
see some.
Let me look at his
The way
mother.
he jumps and dunks and his game, I just don't know
Just
if he's
because-
white.
There's really good white
I haven't
athletes.
seen too many.
You're not one of them.
since '77.
You're not one of them. Oh, he ain't white. That son of a bitch.
I'm not convinced that he is.
Oh, he's as white as you can get.
No,
Man. He's about as white as I am.
I don't think he is.
Blonde hair, blue eyes.
Have you ever seen him play
Oh, hell nah. Where would I see him play?
at Duke?
Maybe we did. Maybe I did.
Did you see that guy who was 7'1" and he was like going around picking up chicks and like put a Portland Trailblazers hat on. And he
No.
was telling everyone he just got drafted.
Oh, man.
And they were like, really, what team? He's like, Portland. And they're like, oh, yeah, they're buying him drinks.
Here
and
he is.
He's at the bar, and
I
like
love
girls are giving him
Good for
their
him.
number. And they're like, what college you go to? He's like, Duke.
That's great. That's great.
So funny,
oh,
man.
my buddies would lie.
He's like, Portland. I was like, got drafted by Portland. He got a Portland hat on.
Oh, it's fucking great. I love that.
I
I
know.
do. How's this kid from, how's this Carbonell kid, the Blues drafted?
Not related to Guy.
No, I know. Yeah.
Just making sure that
Quebec,
you knew that.
I knew that.
Yeah, he's a football
I
player.
listened to your interview.
Did you? The whole
Yes.
thing?
I listened. Yes, because that's what I do.
With Tony, too?
huh?
With Tony, also, the
No.
head scout?
No. Didn't.
Oh, you would have liked that one.
I'll look at it.
Get back to that one, and then get back to me.
Okay.
When you get a chance, okay? Do we need
Book
to,
report.
Do we need to pause the
Good
show?
God Almighty.
Hey, when I was coaching with our midget program, I used to tell kids all the time, I would name a player, and they would never know who he is. Like, we're talking like Teemu Solani, never knew who he was. Scott Niedermeyer didn't know who he was.
When you were coaching, the kids didn't know who they
Yeah,
were?
wouldn't
Oh,
know.
boy.
And they were retired by then. But I would say, like, Paul Coffey didn't know who he was. And I would tell them, you need to go home, and then tomorrow when you come back from practice, dude, I want you to tell me everything about that guy. And they would go, like, watch YouTube videos and shit and read about him. And then be like, damn, this guy's unbelievable. I'm like, yeah. You didn't know who Cam Neely was. Like,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
it's
That's
different era.
Nah, you should know because you have everything
Yeah, but those
for
guys
you.
haven't played in a long time.
So, but you
you got to
still,
think about these kids were born after they had already retired for some of these guys.
I still know guys in the 70s, but then the 60s come around. Like, do you know a lot of players from the 60s, Andy?
You didn't know a lot of guys from the 70s. when
Probably
you were
no,
up,
not
did
growing
you?
up. Fuck no. I did know Don Cherry. Can I say something about him real quick? And I hope he gets into the Hockey Hall of Fame. Like, I hope he does.
What does Ken Campbell say?
Well, Ken Campbell, actually, it's like, what has he done for hockey? Ken Campbell, if you look at his Twitter, who I like, man, I don't want to chirp him, but he's like, what has Don Cherry ever done? Blah, 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 blah. I'm thinking to myself, I'm from fucking Eureka, Missouri. I knew who Don Cherry was. I bought every single one of his hockey fight tapes. Went out, my dad would order them and bring them in. And I'm from literally out in the middle of Missouri.
But does
And
that
and-
get you into the Hall of Fame? I mean, I understand what you're
No,
saying.
he said that he doesning have a reach. And I'm thinking, I got into hockey because of Don Cherry in the
I don't
middle.
think he said he doesn't have a reach. Is that what he said?
Yeah, something to that effect.
That's
Look,
crazy.
yeah. I go, what does he have?
People were attacking him, though, man.
Dude, I swear to I got into hockey. A big reason was Don Cherry.
Yeah. But I think he's...
I'm just saying.
I think he's kind of like a...
fucking Missouri boy.
Who's the other guy?
Let's look real quick.
Who's the guy who like wants everyone like
Oh, Rick
banned?
Westhead. Oh, God.
Banned from hockey.
No, when's he gonna get me? When's he gonna get me?
He wants everyone
You know,
banned.
Let's see what.
He'd be like, sources say they're in a 12 and under
Ken
game
Campbell.
between two women teams out of Ontario that like somebody crossed the line and said something they shouldn't have said in the handshake line. It's like, what? This is national news up in Canada?
I'm not a fan of Don Cherry. Never have been. I think he's been terrible for the game. That said, I have no problem with him winning the Foster Hewitt Award, which would give him Hall of Fame recognition. But in the Hall of Fame as a builder, no chance. What did he actually ever build?
Okay,
Again,
so he
like-
didn't say he didn't have reach. This guy
Well,
was on
what did
national
you-
television in
Yeah,
Canada. every
you
day.
are the one of the biggest names and faces in all of hockey for a long, long time.
And you know
you
what?
got guys from like in the middle of Missouri getting into hockey. Fucking right.
And
you
let
got-
me say this about Ken Campbell. 'Cause
God
probably
damn.
before it was like so exciting to be like woke and be like, you know, anti everything and hate everybody. I'm sure he was included in all of the media that couldn't wait to get to the television during the second intermission of Hockey Night in Canada to see what Don Cherry had to say.
No shit.
You know what I mean?
Dude, I lived in Canada, man, watching that. These people watched him religiously.
So when
Everybody
when
did.
I first started covering
Never seen anything like it.
the Blues, the press box would be empty during the intermissions because everyone would be in the back room gathered around this television that was hanging on the wall to hear what Don Cherry had to say.
There it is. He's one of the most interesting hockey people ever. He is.
Yeah.
And he's done a lot, man. Coach, he did this.
Is
he did
Chris
that.
Berman in like the Baseball Hall of Fame or one of those?
Or the football?
I think he
Football,
I
he
think
should be.
Yeah, or baseball.
God damn,
Well,
he should be.
He MCs the Baseball Hall of Fame ceremony every year.
Back.
Yeah.
You know, he should be.
Yeah.
I saw him the other day.
Where? At the gas station?
Yeah. He lives in. I think he's got a girl.
What
there.
gas station do you go to? Do you
The one on
seem to
Clarkson.
run into
I go
lot
to a
of
lot
people.
I'm in a gas station a lot, motherfucker.
I mean,
Okay.
do you know-
I got motherfucking habits.
Do you know
boy.
how often I go to the gas station?
You don't spend money?
Once every like 2 or 3 weeks.
You know.
When I get gas, that's when I go to the gas station.
Yeah, I drink and chew. I got to be there. It's god awful.
Why don't you get it?
What?
Buy it online or something.
What?
Can you buy chew online?
I don't know.
And just
Why would I do that?
Well, because they just send it to your door.
In
You don't have
bulk?
to go to the gas station every day.
It's right down the road. I'm leaving anyway.
You love.
Remember
the-
how I have to like
No,
come
you-
here
you
45 miles?
You love the gas station.
They're mean to me there.
Are they?
God, they're rude.
They don't like you.
They should.
Well, why don't
I'm
they?
keeping them afloat.
Why are they mean to you?
They just are so.
Are you holding up the line?
No, God, no, dude. They're just, hi. I bought beer. I bought my Coors Light. And they just don't say hi. Yeah. I go, yeah, I just take that. Can I get a tin of Grizzly Long Cut Wintergreen, please? Thank you very much. And they're like this, and they say, okay, 748. I'm like, can you get it back for me, please?
Mhm.
Get it back.
It's a dangerous job.
Get the fucking back.
What's the most dangerous job? to
Jesus.
have? Working at a gas station at night.
Fuck no, baby. You want number one?
Convenience store at night.
What do you think number one most deadliest job is?
Well, cab driver.
No. Cab driver. You
Okay,
are out of touch with a lot of
but
things.
keep
Andy.
it in the same. Like, don't tell
Crab
me-
fisherman. Crab fishing. Up in the goddamn north.
Dude, I was hanging
Goddamn
out with
right.
them
What's the
in
next
Cape
one?
Cod when I
No,
was
you were
with the
not hanging out.
fishermen.
You were hanging
Yeah,
out
it
with
was.
fancy lads. You did not talk to any of the
I talked to a
blue-collar people.
bunch of the
You don't talk to
fishermen.
blue collar people.
Yeah, I did.
You don't. You do not talk to blue collar people. You are in a bubble
Dude,
like no fucking
I
other.
became very
you are a bubble
close
boy.
with a
You are
number
bubble
of them.
boy. You are in a bubble boy Joneses. You've never even fucking been out by me. You don't talk to anybody out there. You wouldn't even stop at a gas station out there. You would never have a conversation with anybody out there unless they live in that little Ladue fucking bubble. And you know it. It's all good. I'm in my own little bubble too. But you're in a
We
bubble.
went to
Andy.
a party out in Chesterfield.
Oh yeah, wealthy Chesterfield.
Yes.
Oh, good for you. What about out
It
in
was
Franklin? Why don't you
so-
come to Franklin
It
County?
was so peaceful and quiet.
God, yes. Chesterfield's
And
awesome.
I said to I was like,
Some
could we
bitch.
move out?
Yeah,
here?"
you can.
So far from downtown.
It's
though.
not that far.
It
dude.
is.
It's just
It-
you're
It'd be a
convenient.
good 45
Look at
minutes.
your
to get
neighbor.
downtown.
That ain't happening in Chesterfield. You think that's happening in my neighborhood? You're out of your goddamn mind. That is unacceptable. That fucking Hoosier. House is falling down. You live in Ladue. House is falling down like you're fucking 30 miles that way.
Well, let's hope we get it torn down.
Jesus. Hopefully a tornado does wreck that damn thing. My God. Brutal. Brutal. But yeah, I just wanted to give Cherry a little shout out, man. Like, I saw King Campbell and I'm just like, man, no, he literally got me into hockey.
Mm-hmm.
He really did. You know? And then I was on his hockey fight stuff with me and Aaron Asham and stuff like that. And I thought it was pretty cool.
Michael Granlund's going to be interesting to see where he signs. Where do you see him signing?
Hopefully here.
I don't
Hopefully in
know,
St.
man.
Louis.
I don't know. The Blues
He's
are trying.
33.
The Blues are trying. I don't
He's-
want to like say that he won't.
I don't know.
But my thing is,
Only
there's other teams that also have interest.
as a
and I
centerman,
think-
you're damn right.
And I think, well, he'll play anywhere. But
Yeah,
the
but-
Blues want him as a center. The Blues
Yeah.
need a second line center.
Yes,
like
they
there's
do.
some other centers available. I don't think St. Louis has interest in guys like Puis Suter and
Yeah, I know.
Christian Dvorak, who I hear is getting like a lot
How
of
old is he?
like 20. He's a 96.
Okay, so he's not that old.
So he's like Ryan McKinnis' age.
Okay. Ryan McKinnis' age.
You know, so he
Let's see.
he's getting a lot of attention. Like, you know, on some he'll get anywhere from 3 to 5 years. He's going to make good money.
Yeah,
So
he's not a big guy. Let's see.
no, but he really came on with Montreal towards the end last year.
77 games played in the playoffs, 16 goals, 26 assists, 42 points.
He's dealt with some pretty significant injuries.
He had
too.
10
Who you
points
talking
last year.
about?
Granlund.
Oh, dude, he was great in the playoffs.
Fuck
He
yeah.
had a hat trick one game.
Let's see. He's played 900 games already. 610 points.
But he works his ass off.
Plays 18, 19 minutes.
He
That's
works
nice.
his ass
Got a
off.
great shot.
I had somebody text
Lefty.
me and say he can't play defense.
Well, he's I don't know. He'll figure it out.
He works.
Jordan Kyrou couldn't play defense 2 years ago.
He
now
works
he's plus
his
25.
He works his bag off.
I tell you what, Kyrou gets a lot of flack, man, and I don't get it.
Dude,
People fucking chirp the shit out of him. I don't know if it's because of your question and how he cried after what he did
No.
with Craig Berube.
I think it was before that.
I think it was before that. I think you're
I,
right
I
on
know
that.
it was before that.
I just don't understand. Dude, he's giving you 30 plus goals a year.
Yeah.
Like literally. He
Can I-
doesn't miss a game.
Can I address that? Is that what you were going to ask me?
Yeah. No. I have another question. But
Okay,
go ahead.
good. So don't forget that.
got
one.
that.
So write that down if you need to. Cause
It's in my head.
Okay. So, Kyrou, And here's how this happens. I think one person puts it out there.
And it just blows up.
It's
Just like a fire.
You know what I mean? And
Yep.
everyone's like, Kairu's available.
He sucks.
The Blues are shopping Kairu. And once one person puts it out, teams start calling Doug Armstrong and the Blues. Hey, is this true? What's going on here? Is Kairu available? And if you're Doug Armstrong, you got to listen to everything.
No doubt.
Sure, if someone's going to put something on the table that improves your team, makes you better, and then
Yeah.
maybe you got to think about that.
No doubt.
But Kairu, his camp has been telling me from the very, very beginning, and I put this out there on Twitter too, is that
Got a good high from
there is nothing to this. And he didn't believe in it. And, the strength of the Blues right now, probably their biggest strength and the most depth they have on their roster is at the wing position.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at Kairu, Buchnevich, Holloway, Snuggerud, Neighbors, Bolduc, those are 6 really good wingers. And so I don't think you want to, lessen your depth by just moving on from them. They're not looking just to get rid of them. Now, maybe he would have been included in a trade for like Noah Dobson or whatever, but I don't think they ever got to that point because Dobson made it clear from the beginning that I don't think St. Louis was an option for him. I think he wanted to stay in the East and go to Montreal. Actually, that was his team from the beginning.
Here's what I was going to ask you. How many players have the Blues on the no trade list?
I hear Rasmussen does.
I heard that too. Fucking.
Where'd you hear that? Because
Twitter or
Darren
something?
Drager said that on my show.
That's what it was. I listened to that whole thing.
Did you?
Yep. That's why I'm tan. I was in my back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I had to do that thing. Yeah.
And I haven't followed that up.
No, he did say that on your show.
He said Rasmussen, I think, has St. Louis on his no trade.
Well, I'm curious about that. I like to ask these players, like, who's on your no trade? Like,
Yeah.
Why St. Louis?
Well, the majority of places.
Winnipeg, Ottawa,
Buffalo,
um,
and maybe some other Canadian places.
teams, probably. A lot of Canadian teams.
Maybe they don't want to go to.
Who else do you think in the United States? Like, what other teams?
Mm.
Island, maybe. Now you got these kids. I don't know. They might be fucking good. Who else in the United States? That you Jersey?
It's a good question.
I don't know.
I mean, sometimes you got to come up with 10 teams.
Like what 10 teams? There's some nice places to fucking play, dude.
Yeah.
And Nashville's going to be okay. Like
Columbus.
Columbus, maybe. Although they're making some moves right now, too.
They are, but that may be on a no trade list.
Columbus. It's not a bad place to
I
live.
like Columbus.
So do I. It's a nice
But
it's
if
a
I
nice
had
city.
to pick 10 cities that I don't want to go to,
do
I
you think
may have
St.
to
Louis
include
is
them.
on a lot of these?
I bet you maybe. I wouldn't be
See,
surprised.
even Army said, Doug Armstrong even said, like, listen, once the players come here, they don't leave.
Mhm.
And then they live here.
Yeah.
Alumni. We have
Although
a huge
I
alumni
think
group.
that's
But is this getting here?
I think that's true, and it's listen. I think the players enjoy it. I think the days of like players like living here after they're retired, we're probably not going to see that quite as much.
Because they're making too much money. They're going down to
They
Florida.
make so much money.
They go to Florida.
They can go back home.
They don't need to work here.
They
The
don't-
reason why they stayed here
because they were the big fish, man.
They're big
They
fish, and
could-
you're
they
making
could
money.
Make money.
There it is. Because you need the money
Right.
still.
Exactly. They need a
Now
job.
they don't. They have fucking 90 million bucks in their bank
So
account.
if you make 60, 70, 80 million bucks or more,
Unless you find a girl
or
here.
if you make 30 or 40 million.
Unless you find a girl. Fuck, you make 10 million.
So the only ones that typically stay here now are the ones who marry St. Louis girls.
There it is. Yeah, because if you're making so much money now, I guess that you can go anywhere you want.
Mhm.
You don't need to make money right off the bat when you retire.
Yeah, but you can live anywhere.
You live anywhere you want. I was just curious about that. Because when he said that, I'm like, God damn.
I know.
I don't like hearing that.
I know. I
don't like hearing
I
it.
didn't really follow up on it.
I know you didn't. I almost texted you thinking that was live.
No, I followed up on it with Drager, I'm pretty sure, but I didn't call
No.
Rasmussen's agent
Yeah.
or anything.
I get you. I'm
I
just
didn't
curious.
ask anyone
And
about
why?
the Blues.
I want to know. Just
Hmm.
curious. You know what I mean?
But to answer your question, though, you asked me a few minutes ago about Justin Carbonneau. He played football, and he was a linebacker and a running back. So I can't wait to talk about football with this
Yeah, I
guy
bet.
because I played. Very few of us have played football and hockey. There's only a handful of us that
I
have
did.
done that. Yeah, yeah. Paul, include you.
I
too.
did.
How many years did you play football?
Just one.
Okay. Well,
How many did you play?
like 4 or 5.
Oh, I bet.
I
Little
played,
Giants. You played for the Little Giants.
I played for the Bonham Blue Devils.
You played for the Little Giants with the refrigerator.
the Bonham Blue Devils. By the way, someone tried. You ever watch that show on Hulu called Shoresy?
I was supposed to be a part of it, but it was COVID and I couldn't get to Canada. And
Is that why
Yeah.
RA's on there?
Mm-hmm. They called me up to do Shoresy with John Morasti and all those guys, and I wasn't vaccinated, and I couldn't get to Canada, so I had to shut it down.
So this guy at this party,
Vaccinated.
in Chesterfield,
Yeah.
way out of town,
Not that
he
far.
comes up to me and he said, I think you would love this TV show, Shoresy. So I'm like thinking it's like a Curb Your Enthusiasm type show or something, or I don't know.
Kind of is.
It kind of is. But I put it on last night. I'm like, okay, I couldn't watch. I couldn't even finish one episode.
One good.
It's trying.
Hey there, and
It's like
they're pretty funny.
way over the top hockey Canadian
I love
comedy.
Trailer Park Boys is
But
my favorite. Dude.
It's like you can tell they're reading lines. You know what I mean? It's just too much. It's like have you ever?
I never got into Letterkenny, but they pumped my tires up.
They told me to watch Letterkenny too.
Never
Now,
got into
what's
that.
Letterkenny?
This is like that's Shoresy's spinoff.
Is
of
that a
Letterkenny.
hockey show too?
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yep. Yeah, it's cool. I just don't.
It's cool?
Yeah.
You think the Shoresy was
Yeah.
good?
I think it's.
I
I
only
think
saw
it's.
half an episode.
I think people are into it, dude. You know what I mean?
It's like, it's just a lot, dude. It's like you got this one character who's just,
He's just
every line is like,
Hey there, and he's actually
No.
pretty funny. He's entertaining. Shoresy guy. Like,
okay.
I don't mind it. Like fuck, it's cooler than a lot of other things.
Yeah.
I started Landman.
Don't say that until
What?
you go watch the first.
I
Watch the episode tonight.
on what?
Hulu.
Paramount? Oh, Hulu.
Just,
All right.
just watch it.
Fucking
and then,
Hulu.
And then you tell me,
All right.
and then I want to see what you say when you come back next week. Because I don't
You don't think I'm gonna like it?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Like the first 5-10 minutes, I'm like, this is great. And then I was like, okay,
Too much?
why are they talking like this the whole time? They just won't stop. Like,
You don't like their accents, Andy?
no, they just won't stop trying to be like so funny. It just wasn't very natural after a while.
Yeah.
Like just too much.
Yeah, no, I get that. We tried. I'm trying something.
So I'm trying to watch that. Hey, let me know if I should
tried
go watch
fucking
another
Landman.
episode. Maybe I'll have to watch another
I tried
episode.
Landman with Billy Bob Thornton. He's an oil guy down in Texas.
Mhm.
Deals with all the fucking cartel and bullshit and this and that. And it was good until his daughter and his wife are there, and they're fucking so annoying. I might have to turn it off.
God.
Why is it always a woman that annoys me?
Because you're
Gosh
you're
dang man.
anti-women, dude.
I don't know what it is, but they are annoying. And it kind of ruins it. Like, it really does. It's really weird. Like, God damn.
You know what starts today, Cam? Is the brick tournament.
Oh, yeah? In
You gonna-
Toronto or
you
something?
gonna- yeah, it's not in Toronto. It's in Edmonton.
Oh, yeah? Why would I watch that? I don't have
It's
kids.
the best 10-year-olds.
I'm not watching 10-year-olds play.
You just they broadcast the games and everything.
I'm not going to watch fucking 10-year-olds play. I'm just not. You know?
Well,
Why would I do,
okay,
why
so-
would I do that again?
It's on. We had Jimmy Howard on last time. Probably get somebody
It's
else
fine.
on
I
this
still
time.
won't. I'm not
Detroit
gonna,
looked pretty
still
good.
not
They
gonna
were
watch.
winning 6-1
Still not
over
gonna
Team
watch.
Minnesota.
But why
to
would I
start.
watch 10-year-olds?
You may watch the game.
I'm the hockey I'm done with
I
right
can't
now.
believe you haven't brought up the biggest meme going.
What?
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Oh my God, yeah. Because it's true. Fucking Israel and Iran. Fucking babies. Shut the fuck
I
up,
thought
yoink.
that was AI.
No, he's like, they don't know what the fuck
Have you
they're
ever
doing.
heard a president say that?
No. That's
Will
why
that
he's
be in
great.
history books?
Yeah. God, yeah. He's one big meme, dude. He's one big meme, baby. It
They're
is what
letting
it
like
is.
hecklers inside the press room like, when they have their press
Always.
conferences. This guy's yelling like Trump for 2028 or something like that, and he's like, "I like this guy." Like, how'd he get in there?
Mhm.
Is he a journalist?
Probably. You know what I mean? They had to arrest a couple people barging in on some of these things.
Oh, really?
But I think we're in a pretty good spot right now, man. You know what I mean? You fucking take down Iran. I know there's still fucking conflict there and
Yeah,
shit
but
like
I
that.
don't know, man. You
Prices look pretty goddamn good. Stock market's soaring.
just- Is it?
Yeah, tariffs seem to be working.
How are the real
C-
estate?
Canada, I
How's
don't know.
how's the real
I don't know what
estate?
Trump's going to do with fucking Carney in Canada. Don't know. Hopefully Canada's okay and we fucking figure that
Is
out. but-
Carney? He's the new prime minister.
Yeah, remember he...
See the guy
So-
who was like shooting on the ice.
Mm-hmm. And everybody's...
Who would win a one-on-one like shootout between him and Putin?
Putin? Oh, they both suck. God, remember when Putin fucking was playing that charity game with Kovalchuk and all them? He scored 11 goals. And then he's skating around like, He's like, hey. And then they didn't tell him that the fucking carpeting was right there, and he hit the carpeting, went.
Do you have
right
the
in front of
video
everybody.
when you were drafted? Like the
Yeah.
audio? Like
I don't know about the audio. I
like-
got pictures of
like
everything.
when they said like, hey, with the
117.
with the second to last pick in the 7th round.
No, I was fourth
The
round.
New Jersey 3rd round or 4th?
Fourth.
Round? That's
Fourth
pretty
round,
good.
117
That's
overall.
a good round to go in.
And the guys that were drafted before me and with the Devils were all like Russian,
I
and
know
they
you
never
said that.
remember I hurt those kids.
Yeah, I know.
Remember I talked about Motto and
You hurt a few people.
I heard a few people.
Motto's not Russian, but
No, I know, but I remember bringing that up.
Did
People were
he-
texting
did
me
he
like,
reach out to you.
no,
about that?
but it's
I'd like you
it
to
was like a
talk-
vertebrae in his
I'd like you
neck.
to talk to him.
It's
right
god
now.
awful.
I don't know why you're bringing up.
But
this.
Anton Khadakin and Ivan Kumatov, I don't give a fuck. You got drafted before me.
You
You,
guys-
you got paid more money than I did, and I just fucking knew it. I'm like, God damn you two. And then they were cocky, and I roomed with Ivan Kumatov.
Russians are about to.
He had his little fucking tighty-whitey underwear on with shit fucking stains on it. He turned the goddamn thing up to 79 degrees at night. I wanted to kill him.
Mm.
I wanted to kill him. And my dad's like, don't fucking do that. Just do it on the ice. Because he was my roommate, and I hated him.
Yeah. Why'd you want to kill him?
Because he's just annoyed the shit out of me.
So you killed him on the ice?
Yeah, so I got him.
Usually the draft classes are very tight with one another.
No, those guys never talked to me. They're in their own little world. Never played a game. What a waste.
They never-
waste.
neither of
never
them-
played a fucking game even close. You know,
He's not gonna like you talking.
I
about
don't
him
give a
like that.
shit. Who?
Any-
Blue?
Either of them.
Oh, those two?
They're-
Fuck, give a fuck. What are they gonna do? But I was so, I don't know why. I was just so, this guy fucking annoyed me, man.
Mm-hmm.
Once you start, I got annoyed when I got older, living with people and rooming with guys. I mean, before the lockout, 2012, like guys with under 600 games had to have a roommate on the road.
I know.
It is the stupidest.
Could you imagine?
Bush
that?
League.
You could be 31 years
You're
old.
making $10 million and you're rooming with a fucking 19-year-old kid. Like, what?
Wouldn't you just
You're
say,
shitting in
"Listen,
the same
I'll buy
toilet?"
my own room.
I did that.
You did?
Yeah. That's Caruso.
You bought your own room?
Yeah. I would do that a lot.
Why?
What do you think?
Wouldn't they know this is suspicious?
Who? Larry Plow? I did it with the Devils too.
God.
Yeah, it was shady, sneaky.
Mhm.
I just go down and be like, hey, I'm gonna get out of the room, boom, boom, keep this, blah, 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 and then just have it.
Hey,
If you
listen,
knew you were gonna party and hang with girls or
I
something.
want to get to Eddie Olczyk, but
Yeah.
I do. We touched on it, but we didn't talk about it. The Matthew Schaefer story is
It's really interesting. Yeah.
Did you go watch that YouTube special? 'Cause
No.
You liked my tweet, and I didn't know if you went and watched it.
No. I mean, how good is this kid? Like, who do you compare him to?
Don't know.
I know.
It's a down draft. They're
It's
comparing
gotta be
him
a
to
down-
like,
What?
I mean,
Like who?
Quinn Hughes or something like that.
Okay.
I've heard that. I mean, so
Jesus.
like, the problem is we didn't get to see him play much this past year because he got hurt.
Yeah.
Like in the first game of the World Juniors, dude, his billet mom dies,
Yeah.
and it's public. They said from suicide or something. Then his mom dies of cancer.
Yeah.
Then he breaks his collarbone. Like, dude, he had a string of bad luck, man.
Yeah. The Bill Mom thing, I don't know too much about that, but when your mom dies like at a young age like that, before she could even see you playing, that's because there's so many different.
He was 16, and
Oh,
you
God.
knew that she was heavily in his life. And they
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
so tight.
I'd be fucked up,
Yeah.
I would be if I was that age and my mom died. I'm still in
Could you
high school. Oh
imagine?
God, or my dad. Probably
And then you
as
gotta go-
for my
then-
hockey
then you
career, I
gotta-
think my dad would be it would be a lot tougher for me to figure things
Then
out.
you gotta go talk on the Zoom.
Yeah, Zoom. I don't fucking figure that out. Like you can't fucking talk in Zoom to the people that are going to pay you millions of dollars
We're
when you're 18.
excited to have you.
Yeah, I know. Like that's
Thanks for believing
Speed
in
it up.
me.
Jesus. Everybody's
Thanks.
got to come out and be a comedian before you fucking who you drafting. God damn.
Exactly.
Speed it up. Jeez, I'm watching like what
I
the
like
fuck?
those GMs that just walk up
You go.
and they're just like with the 13th pick.
Ugh. You got a B-list celebrity come out like, ooh, we love hockey. No, you don't. No, you don't. Dave Coulier does. He comes to all of our events with
John
Chaser.
Gruden was back in St.
John Gruden's back. He loves everything. He's fucking WNBA. He's Cardinals. He's Blues. He's this. He's that. Good Lord. Get a job in the NFL already. My God, you're trotting him out like, hey, here, we got Gruden. No, we got Gruden. We got fucking God. He ain't that cool. Everybody's like bragging like he's fucking the Pope. John fucking Gruden. See his emails?
We need to see him.
Oh, fuck. He got fucked over bad. They still paid him his $100 million.
I don't think they did.
They didn't?
No.
They terminated his contract?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I don't know about that.
Oh, yeah.
Could be wrong, but, you know, they looked through his emails. They fucked him so bad. But, like, he's just like here he is.
He's just a character.
He's
like,
a
if I was
fucking clown.
If I was a team, I'd never hire him.
No.
Would you?
No, he's
like a
child.
He's like a character. He's opening boxes every day.
Be laughing at him if I was playing on his team. Couldn't take him serious.
No, I can't.
He's a child.
That's the thing. I just couldn't. And listen. We hung out when he was here.
Smart
a little
guy with the football, though.
He is, but
He's smart with
I can't look at him the same anymore.
No, he's a goofball.
Yeah.
Like I'm 6'7", 300, and this guy's yelling. I'm like, what? What'd you say to me? I just saw you do a fucking media tour.
Like, whatever. This isn't Barstool, buddy.
Exactly. You know, Jesus, he's everywhere. Just funny. Like the NHL's just nerdy a little bit. They don't know who's their fan, who's not. Like just
Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley's like, I like hockey. No, you don't. Although I love him. You know,
I love Charles, but like, why is all this?
Shaq's a big hockey fan. No, he's not. Ask him a question about hockey, see if he likes it. Listen, hockey it's not there. Like with MLB.
But they're trying to use other celebrities that are known or attached to other professional sports leagues to now bring attention to that. It's like you gotta find your own guys.
John Hamm, I get. Like he's a hockey fan.
He's a Rangers fan.
Like he's a hockey fan, dude. Like he just is. Like he's in land.
What fan is he? What team is he a fan of?
Blues, Kings, Rangers, like whatever.
Whichever game he's
whatever, you know. But at least he's a hockey fan.
I
like
know.
you talk to him like you know he knows hockey.
Oh, of course, dude. I like John Hamm a lot.
Ask Nikki Glacier about icing. Say, what's icing? She'd be like, fucking put it on a cake.
Well, she was kind of funny. She said, I bleed blue like 4 or 5 times a month. She's like, well, I'm 40 now, so maybe like
she shouldn't care. She's a hockey fan. No, she's not.
She's a Winnipeg fan.
Big time. I mean, it's just funny. Like hockey doesn't have many celebrities attached to it. They don't. Basketball, they do. Football, Jesus Murphy. Baseball,
oh, of course you do.
Not as much as you think. I would say old school baseball fan. I don't know. Yeah, Yankees and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. But basketball, football, I mean, they got all the big boys.
So who would be like a famous?
Like Conor McGregor's a big hockey fan. No idea what he was talking about. He's like, you gotta kill him. You gotta strike him.
The bare naked ladies. The bare naked ladies. They play it like every event for like a 20-year span.
Oh God. We got the bare naked ladies.
We had them last year too. They were so good. We're gonna have them again next year.
God, are they good?
No, the award show. Remember JD got mad at me years ago because I was like,
chirping him.
I was like, JD, this is like the worst award show I've ever seen. It was years ago. He was like, you think it's easy to put these shows on? It's hard. I'm like, oh God.
My bad.
I think you're right.
I know
I'm sorry.
It ain't easy.
Just
Hockey's not an easy sport to get into.
Everybody else is chirping at us, trying to have fun.
Hockey's not an easy sport to get into. It's not an easy sport to play. And if you know the game and you're still and somebody that's kind of new to it, trying to get into it, to have a conversation with somebody that knows the game, you look foolish and you sound like you don't know what you're talking about. So it's really hard for people to even like discuss the game.
I shouldn't say I hate because I don't want to do that, but it is. It's not fun talking hockey with someone who doesn't know anything about what's going on, and they're trying to have a conversation with you.
Tell me about
the Blues.
Oh yeah,
or anything.
What do they do? Oshie comes
He's
back.
like, I think they should sign
McDavid.
A couple of centers.
What about Crosby? Can we just get Crosby?
The Crosby rumor.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. Who's
George the Rock? I think he
what the fuck is he doing?
Georgie.
Big Georgie. We'll have to get his ass back on. What the fuck was that? I'm hearing Colorado. I like that's why I chirp Andy, but Andy's an insider. Like he works hard for it.
I make mistakes here and there.
We
man,
all make mistakes. No,
like
it's fine. Let me pump your tires up.
I've made
fine.
a couple even this summer.
It's fine, but you're an insider. You dig into it, man. You've been doing this for years. You know your relationships and all that. But anytime July 1st comes around every single year, you got these pop-up fucking guys that are like, I'm hearing this, I'm hearing that, and it never goes down. It's really weird. Stay out of the game. Even if you're big Georgie LaRock, who we love to death and respect, But you know Crosby's going to Colorado. Why
like-
would you even tweet that?
I don't know, but like I reported like something like Dante Fabro and CB in Columbus.
Yeah.
Were making like significant progress in a
saw
long-term
that.
contract
Yep.
extension. So this was like a week or two ago, maybe. I don't know. 10
I saw it.
10 days
Yeah.
ago. And it didn't happen like in the next hour or two. Dude, people are sending me hate messages and hate tweets. How could you say that?
Define a hate tweet.
You don't know shit.
Hate tweet.
Well,
That's not a hate tweet. Hate tweet's like, don't even make me say it.
I hate your ancestors.
Exactly. They start doing, they do that.
Fine.
That's different.
But they're attacking me. I'm like, dude, I don't know when they're announcing it. Like Trent Frederick, when I reported that.
A long time ago you did. You knew that a long time ago.
And you don't know shit.
And it happened.
I don't
Good
know.
for you, Trent, by the way.
Sometimes they want to wait. Yeah, I'm happy for Trent, man.
Damn right.
I hope, listen, he did not play his best
No,
hockey. I think he'd be
it's
the
fine.
first one to tell you
Yeah.
that in the Stanley Cup final and in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Coming off of that injury, I want to believe that truly impacted his overall game. And he's going to be healthy and he's going to be able to help that team moving forward. We'll see what happens. I talked to him the other day, man. We're going to get him in studio here the next few weeks.
All right.
Trent,
Yeah.
you okay with that?
God, yes, my boy, baby.
Your hat
What's
looks like
up?
one of those old school Chicago
Badass.
White
It's
Sox.
fucking
hats.
badass, dude. I'm representing my country, which I love.
The Cardinals are good all of a sudden, bro.
Cardinals?
I'm into it.
Oh, you're into it big time. Oh, yeah. Who pitched last game?
I don't know, but this other guy for the Tigers.
Excuse me?
This Tigers.
You didn't know who pitched last game?
Do you know who the best pitcher in the game is for the Tigers? What's his name? Strudel?
Huh?
Strudel?
What?
I had to.
Tim Stutzel?
No.
You would.
I had to go. He won the American League Cy
one's
Young last year, and I'm watching him pitch yesterday. I'm like, this dude's unbelievable. So I didn't know he won the Cy Young. So I Wikipedia him, which I like to do. Like Wikipedia athletes find out their background, their story. He's got a great story, dude.
What's
Went
his
to, like,
name?
Studel or something like that.
Why don't you find out his name before you tell his story?
Okay, well, I don't
Good
remember it.
you. Jeez,
I
Louise.
just don't remember.
You're talking about a guy, and you don't even know his goddamn name.
I
You're
just
going to break
forgot
down his
name.
story, and you don't know his name? Like, come on.
I forgot his name.
Well, baseball's going to be in our face for the next 2 months straight.
I
3
hope they
months
make
straight.
the playoffs.
Cardinals? Hell yeah, man. Of course. We want the city to make money. St. Louis needs to make money.
It's not about that.
Bullshit.
It's not.
That's how I look at it. You
I
want
just-
all these places, these like restaurants and stuff, to just make as much money as possible, so they build more things in St. Louis.
Tariq Skubal.
Don't know him.
Tarek or
Don't know
Tariq.
him.
Went to University of Seattle. Had no D1 offers. He's a badass dude. And I knew just watching him. I'm like, this motherfucker's had Tommy John. He's throwing
They all
103
do.
now. They all have
Yeah.
Tommy John.
I like Shohei Ohtani, dude. He's about as cool as you can get.
He had Tommy John too.
Yeah, man. Now he's pitching again, going 103 miles an hour.
Damn.
God. And then he hits the ball. He's a lefty. He's fucking badass. Shohei Ohtani seems like a really good dude. I'd play for the fucking Dodgers. Oh
so
my
would I.
God.
That's where I'd play.
Oh
Would you
my!
rather
Could you
play for
imagine
them or the Yankees?
Doggy. They're both 1 and 2, baby. You play for the Dodgers, dude. You are treated like you cannot believe.
Are
They
you?
have
The fans show
they
up
have
so
their
late.
fucking shit.
They're not even there.
They are there.
They're not.
You are gigantic.
I would play in San Diego.
I'd play
maybe
in s-
before
fucking right.
either of those.
Either one
two.
of them, dude. If you're making a ton of money, I'm living
Give me
there or
San
the
Diego.
fucking San Diego.
Give me
God,
San Diego.
I don't care. I'd play in goddamn Colorado. If I'm a fucking hitter,
Oh, I would do
I'm
that too.
smashing dingers left and right, baby.
Yeah.
I got my house by the mountains. Fuck yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Not Cleveland.
You know, I was a center fielder back in the day.
Oh, God. I wouldn't play for Cleveland.
Oh, that'd be on your no trade list?
Yeah. It would.
Yeah.
What would be on your NHL 10 no trade list?
Okay. Well,
Let's go. 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 Because you almost made it, and you
I
might
know,
have
I
almost had
know,
to think
I
about
know.
this decision.
Okay, I would say.
What would it be?
I would say probably
Oh, boy.
Edmonton, Buffalo.
Oh, boy.
Although I'm from Buffalo.
Go.
So Winnipeg.
Shows how much you like your hometown. Go ahead.
I
Go ahead.
I would play in Vancouver. I'd play in Montreal. I'd play in Toronto.
Ottawa.
Ottawa's on my no trade. How many?
4.
That's
Yeah,
4.
Oh, boy. Keep going.
Columbus.
5. Andy.
Jersey.
Okay.
Islanders.
Okay.
I got to come up with 10.
Keep going.
Carolina.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
Oh. Now you're getting a little.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm not like anti-Carolina. I'm just saying.
San Jose?
San Jose would be on there.
Yeah.
I just don't want to go. there.
LA?
I'd go to LA.
So would I.
I'd I could find lots
Fucking
of stuff to
A,
do out
Andy.
there.
Who are you kidding? I'll go to fucking Anaheim. Don't give a shit. I'll live in Anaheim like you can't believe, baby, if I had money.
I wouldn't have Detroit on there.
No, I'd
it's,
play for
it's an original six.
play for
The
Detroit.
uniforms are so nice.
Mhm.
St.
play-
Louis, I wouldn't have on there because So
So you'd have St. Louis on there?
No, I wouldn't. Because I'm from there.
Keep going.
I would say, God, let me just
Damn.
real quick. Let me just do this because I really want to submit my. I don't want to have a Patrick Berglund
Philly?
situation here. Okay.
Philly? I'd play there. Fuck that.
Oh, I played in Philly.
I'd play in fucking Philly. Be the man. Goddamn right. Be a shit kicker in Philly. Wear that fucking orange
Okay.
and black. Let's
so here
go.
we go. So Winnipeg,
Mm-hmm.
Edmonton,
Yep.
Calgary.
Calgary. Yeah, Andy. They got a new building coming, just so you know. Brand new. Beautiful. Calgary's a beautiful
San
city.
Jose,
San Jose.
Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
Devils, Ottawa, Columbus, Buffalo,
Islanders.
Islanders.
There it is. That's mine too.
Oh, we have the same ones?
Yeah, because it's obvious.
Oh, is it?
Kind of.
Does everybody have the same list?
I think that's what the list is. You
Like-
guys let us know.
Like Dallas, I'm going there in a heartbeat.
God, yeah.
Colorado,
I'm going
there.
to Nashville. I'm
Vegas,
going to Florida.
I'm there. LA, I'm there.
I'd go to Carolina, though, just so you know.
I would too. I would have no problem living there, but I had to put 10.
I'd go to Carolina.
It's more about the setup there, the facilities and the fan base and everything.
I don't care
know
about the
they
fan
got
base.
good I'm just saying.
The facilities make me uncomfortable.
I don't need that.
You're right. But we don't know what their locker room looks like.
It's
Listen,
not-
because the other people, the other
I'm just saying.
visiting team's shitty is 2 different rooms. I remember it.
I'm just saying.
And you got to skate off the ice to
Yeah.
get off the ice because
Yeah.
there's no fucking
Okay.
where the bench is.
Yeah,
So
but
dumb.
Montreal's like that too.
Yeah, I know, but I'd play for Montreal.
Winnipeg, you got to skate off. the ice.
Stupid. Who set that up? How stupid. You got to skate off the fucking ice. You get hurt. You got to wait till a whistle if you got to go to the bathroom or change a piece of equipment. You have to wait till a whistle? How dumb. Andy, I think that no trade list, what you just threw down, is the majority of what most
Yeah,
players
I would think so too.
But St. Louis might be on that too.
the good news is First Form can deliver.
St. Louis might be
anywhere.
on there too,
Might be.
unfortunately.
They might be.
You know,
St. Louis can, or excuse me, First Form can deliver anywhere.
Yeah.
Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Use our link and use it today. Cam, I've been getting a lot of momentum. I've been putting a lot of stuff up on my Instagram of all these new beautiful Form Energy cans.
they're beautiful.
I mean, these are the most beautiful cans ever.
They're not
I
beautiful.
love these
Hey,
things.
God
Look at
dang.
these things.
4th of July, baby. Let's go. God dang. One of my favorite holidays. One of my favorite gosh dang holidays, baby.
How good are these?
4th of July.
How many of these can you eat in one day?
I already had 2 this morning.
Is that okay to have multiple?
Sure.
Do you know I was reading how many eggs you can have in 1 week?
Oh, I'll fucking crush eggs, baby.
How
Kate
many-
makes me
how many do you-
avocado
Me
egg
too.
toast every single morning
I
with
know.
a fucking shake and kiwi.
Now tell her to mix the eggs with cottage cheese. It's amazing.
I told you that.
No, you
you
didn't.
steal everything from
No,
me.
you
You're
didn't.
you
You've never-
don't even
You
know.
never said
you,
that to me.
You don't even know you're doing
My
it.
daughter's doing it.
You don't even know you're doing it. You steal my shit. I bring it up 2 weeks later. You talk about it. Get on with yourself. God dang.
So how good is that? Cottage cheese is
It's real
one of my
good.
new favorite
cr-
foods with pepper
Because I told you.
and
Oh,
avocado.
Damn good. Now avocado's weird because it's got to be
What if it turns black? Is it
not black.
Can you eat that?
Jesus, no.
You think my
Black.
neighbor? You think my
Saying
neighbor?
brown,
You think my
black.
neighbor has black mold?
Yes. Your neighbor is a goddamn Hoosier.
It's from Vietnam.
I don't give a fuck.
They don't have Hoosiers
I
there.
don't give a fuck.
They
You
don't have-
won that war.
They don't have Hoosiers.
Yeah, they do. In Vietnam, look at his house.
Oh my God,
It's disgusting.
it's falling apart.
Actually makes me mad.
Get the city, I gotta get the city behind
Would
it.
you put your foot down?
I know it. I know it.
Jesus.
Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Do it today. And get yourself a beef stick, get yourself the supplements and everything, and get you the Form Energy drinks, man. Get these for 4th of July, all the apparel, everything
Oh,
else.
yeah, man.
Use our link, Cam and Strick. Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Use our link. You know the link. Illinois Recovery Center, Cam.
Right there in Swansea, Illinois. Chrissy, Eric, Jacob, they're going to take care of you. They got a
Everywhere.
bed waiting for you right there. It's in Swansea, Illinois. Get a hold of them. Get a hold of any of us. We'll get you in contact with those guys. They're willing to help. They want to help. They love you. And once you get out of there, you're going to be you again. It's exactly what it is. You're going to be
Say
you
that
again.
again.
You're going to be you again. Not this fucking
And
fake person that you become whenever
Right.
you're drugged up and you're addicted. You're
how
fake.
do you become you again?
You get sober. which I might have to do eventually. Straight up sober.
What are you going to be like?
Me.
The same person you are now?
I think so.
Okay.
You know? I'm not drunk now. Not yet.
Not yet.
You know?
You again.
Gotta be you again, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, so first form.
And you look 10 times better,
yeah.
too. Like
Illinois
your body,
Recovery
your
Center,
body,
baby.
your eyes.
Oh,
look
you don't
better.
have the inflammation.
Oh, your eyes look better. Your soul.
Reach out to me if you want to get in touch with anybody over there at Illinois Recovery Center. I can certainly help you do that.
Go on. Go on.
Jersey Generator, baby. Use the
here.
promo code Andy10. You can use Cam10 as well, but these are just
Look
beautiful
at that,
sweaters.
baby. They are good looking
They'll
sweaters.
design your jerseys.
Look at how crisp we look.
They'll
man.
design what you put whatever logo you want on there. They'll design them for you. They'll create the colorways, everything you
Yep.
need, man.
Look
Look
at
at
they
these
did a damn
look
good
at these
job.
numbers, man. Look at that.
Yeah.
Beautiful little
Look good.
outlines there.
In 9. Gordie Howe.
I know.
Just like Andy.
My number is number 9. Chris Zimmerman asked me that the other day. He
I
said,
heard
"What's your
that too.
number?"
And you're like, well, but you got into a whole fucking charade about this and that.
Yeah.
And then Ty scored a goal and then 8+1. Jesus, Father of God.
I didn't say he
So
scored
he's
a goal.
talking about, no, you're like, Ty scored when he was wearing 9, and then I did this, and so I changed it. Like, there's just so much to it. It's unbelievable. Chris Zimmerman's like, okay. Zimmerman's like, shut the fuck up.
JerseyGenerator.com, man. Check it out. Check out their Instagram account too, man. They're the best. Hat Launch, baby.
Let's go. The best in the business.
Who makes better hats than Hat Launch?
Nobody.
Put your logo on a hat and let them create the logo for you if you don't have a logo. These guys are unbelievable.
Nobody.
Danny Boy,
Let's go, motherfucker.
Jordan,
They're
everybody.
partying this weekend.
I know. Most comfortable
They're
hats.
partying.
Most comfortable hats you'll find anywhere. They're cool. They're stylish. I've got so many people that have reached out to Hat Launch that are having them make their hats for them. And they talk about the customer service and how quickly they turn around and make these hats for you.
Right away. They'll get this done
Anywhere
right away.
you're listening, you can order these hats from Hat Launch. Don't think you have to be here in the Middle West.
Midwest, as we call it, Andy.
You don't have to. Hat Launch, baby. True Float. Get those badass coolers, man. You can find them on my Instagram. You can find them on their Instagram. True Float, TRU Float.
Oh, man. This weekend, I'll be using those bad
Is there a
boys.
better weekend to have True Float
This
than
is
this
the best
weekend?
weekend
You get
ever,
the
dude.
heated chairs,
This is the
which are
best
going to be
weekend.
amazing come fall time.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of fall,
They'll
that's
put
exactly
your
right.
logo on the chair. They're the most comfortable. You just sink into this chair. Easy to put away and store. Nothing. Just
Yep.
right away.
Fucking- even Andy could do it.
They got all the different coolers, man. They got tumblers. They got everything. You can put your logo on it. You can get it with our logo on it. You can get it plain. You can get it whatever you want, man. You don't have to get a logo on it.
No. Just do your thing, baby.
Describe True Float versus Yeti.
Well, I mean, True Float's a bunch of shit kickers, okay?
Mhm.
Fucking
Alberta shit
Alberta
kickers.
shit kicking motherfuckers. Cool cats.
Hell yeah.
Yeti, much buzzies, okay? Pussies.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
They just had Canada Day. What is Canada Day?
What do you think it is?
It's Independence Day.
Yeah, it's their birthday.
Oh, their
We're
birthday.
older. We're older than
So
them.
our birthdays only 3 days apart.
I believe so.
Wow.
We're older than them, though.
That's amazing that they're
We're
so
older.
close together.
We are older than
Chili plastering. I've been putting up videos of chili.
them.
Man.
My neighbor putting in the pool starting today.
Wow.
Starting
Will
today.
it be ready before the end of the
He said
summer?
it's going to be ready in a month.
Wow.
I can't believe he got all the coating down.
When did
or
they
like,
start doing it?
Today.
No, when did they start building it?
Today.
They just broke
I just
ground
told you,
today, and
today.
it's going to take a month.
It's happening right now.
Really?
Yes.
They're digging holes.
Yeah. He's
Wow.
got that badass infinity pool thing where you just walk right out. It's right there.
Oh, my God.
It's my boy.
Which one's going to have a nicer pool, him or the other one?
I don't know. They both got money.
Him or the...
I'll tell you who's not going to have a nicer pool. Me until,
until I start selling
start
more.
selling a little bit more because it's expensive to get a goddamn pool. But once you got it, man, that's your livelihood. That's your baby. That's your oasis.
Get plastered with Chili Plastering. Turn your backyard into an oasis. They've got that Pebble Tech technology, too. Comes with a 5-year warranty.
Hell yeah.
Anyone who has a badass pool in this area had their plastering done by Chili Plastering.
Chili plaster. Been around since what, 50s?
70 years,
70?
dude.
Jesus Christ.
Say hi to those boys.
What's up, Dave? What's up? What's up, Ryan? Love both of you guys, man. Keep doing your
Hells
thing.
yeah.
Love you guys.
Blue Note Roofing.
Oh, my God.
Get that roof, man. Gutters. My neighbor needs it. I even
You
told him
think?
about
Dude.
David. I'm like, call Dave. He's like, well,
He
the
ain't
owner
gonna-
says
he's
he's
not even
trying
cutting
to.
his grass.
My God, they had a guy cutting it
Hoosier.
today.
Jesus Christ.
So bad.
It's so bad, dude.
3149.
I feel bad for you.
I know. Thank you. I
Seriously.
appreciate it. Well, I don't like it, dude.
It's not good.
Yeah, well, now you've got me going. So I have to,
Goddamn
I have to say
Hoosier.
something today. 314-920-5713. That's the number for David Novak. Roofing, gutters, soffit, fascia, siding.
Face you.
But
they do it all.
You do know now, though, that the storm was no joke in my house, dude. I mean, it destroyed a lot of properties.
People died.
Nearby.
People died.
Nearby.
They didn't hit you like they hit the people that died.
Well,
and you and Ledoux had a fucking alarm that went off too.
Thinking about all of them.
The alarm went off. They didn't happen in the city because they don't give a fuck about you down there.
Right.
Just so you know, they act like they do, but you keep voting them in. They don't give a fuck.
Right.
They don't give a shit about you.
You like that comedian?
Right.
Matt Fried. He
the handsome kid
does all the impersonations.
Huh?
He does all the impersonations. Does it Trump? Does it everybody? Is it Matt Friedman? Fried?
I don't know.
Fried?
I don't know. There's a lot of them out there.
I like that man.
I like how you don't know names.
I like that Manscalzo too.
Yeah, he's all right. Yeah, Italian guy. Yeah.
He's like
Maniscalco.
he just starts doing.
He's pretty good.
I know.
I mean, Shane Gillis and fucking.
You think Shane Gillis is that funny?
Fuck yeah.
You
dude.
do?
God, yeah. Fucking hilarious.
What's so funny about him? His TV
Watch
show?
him.
Oh, is the
Watch him.
The TV
He's
show?
No, his stand-up is hilarious.
Is it?
It's hilarious. Ari Spears is one of my favorites.
Ari
Spears. Calls him whatever. He's great. Calls you out.
Okay.
Yep. He's really funny right now.
All right. Let us know your favorite comedian. I used to want to be a comedian. I still think I could be.
You could do anything you want.
Thank you.
You could be a hockey player. Want to be a comedian.
Blue Note Roofing, 314-920-5713. Call him today.
Football fucking
David
player.
Novak. Cam at Bellman, you getting
Swinging dicks.
Say hi to Danny, boy.
Hey, Danny.
Kenny.
Dale. Fuck you, damn boy.
Located where?
Troy, Missouri. I bet you they're going to get a lot of traction coming up here at 4th of July. I think a lot of people buy cars.
Oh, yeah, they do. And they'll give you sushi and flavored water, too, so ask about that.
What a type B personality would say.
Buick GMC on one side of the street, all located in Troy. On the other side, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. Cam's looking at that pink Jeep.
God dang.
2-door, small wheels, soft top,
I had a panic
flames
attack
on the
today
side.
driving.
Again?
I know what it was.
Because of your stuff? Because of your...
Why?
Like your...
It's because I drank too much coffee this morning.
Oh, my God, that'll do
That's
it.
exactly what it was, dude.
All right, Eddie-O,
now
baby.
I fucking know.
Eddie-O.
Eddie-O, let's go.
Let's talk a little free agency with Eddie-O.
Let's go.
Former Stanley Cup winner, cancer survivor, the man
on
the Cam Strick Podcast. The Cam Strick Podcast is brought to you by First Form, baby. Use our link and do it today. www.firstform.com/CamandStrick.
Get jacked now. They are the real deal.
Get that protein, check out the apparel, eat those bars, and drink those energy drinks. Firstform.com/CamandStrick.
Yeah.
Now on to the interview.
My hair looks good, too, which is not good anymore.
That is important. I'm just trying to keep mine. And I got a guy if you need one, so just let me know.
How much money do I need? That's the goddamn question. Or I'll go to Turkey and get it done.
That's, hey, sometimes you got to know a guy to get a guy. So.
That's right.
Well, I'll be calling you after this.
Hey, so are you in Seattle or are you in Chicago?
I'm in Chicago. Yeah,
okay.
Chicago.
We just hit record and go, man.
Yeah.
We don't waste people's time.
How do you split your time? You just you kind of bounce wherever you want to be, Eddie-O.
There's no splitting. 4 grandkids in Chicago. You know where I am. So.
Yeah, exactly. How much do you after all these years being on the road all the time? I mean, you're so busy. How do you maintain the passion and the excitement and and make it interesting? Because you've been doing that. You played forever, then now you've been broadcasting forever. Yeah. It can kind of get monotonous.
Yeah, well, it's good to be with you guys, and appreciate you guys having me again. I think it's you get into a routine, as you guys know, and sometimes the Ferris wheel goes a little quicker than normal, and sometimes it slows up where you're like, okay, I got to get back, I got to get it back sped up again. And obviously, I mean, my little world kind of changed dramatically a couple of years ago when I left Chicago and I ended up in Seattle to do local games out there, which I've been doing. It's hard to believe it's been 3 years now since I left Chicago and was in Seattle doing local games there. So, that kind of flipped everything personally on its ear. And now, as I mentioned earlier, I got 4 grandkids, and the majority of my family's here, except for my son Nick, who is in Utah with the Mammoth now, and so everybody is at home here in Chicago. So I just kind of try to make my schedule as accommodating as it can, because on Wednesdays I'm doing the TNT, the national. So it depends on where my schedule is. And sometimes it changes, but you just kind of go with the flow and try to make sure I'm taking care of myself, because I have had some, health issues here in the last 7 to 8 years. So I got to make sure I'm taking care of myself that way. And the one thing I've realized is I don't bounce back as quick as I used to now. And I'm going to be turning 59 coming up in August. So I think, I think the game sells itself. I mean, when the days may get long, the travel may get long, but as you both know, is once you step into the arena, the blood gets flowing, the energy gets to a different level, regardless if it's in the middle of January or it happens to be in the middle of June doing a game in Florida in the Stanley Cup final. So it's, I think I'm getting to a point where I probably will be backing off in some capacity, just because priorities have taken over, and I'd like to spend some more time at home. But at least for the time being, I'll keep grabbing a headset and sitting next to Johnny Forslund in Seattle, or Kenny Albert and Brian Boucher on TNT, and go from there. So it's still the greatest gig in the world, and I'm very fortunate I've been able to do this. I retired in 2000. Actually, my last game was against the St. Louis Blues, and I remember starting the game, and our friend Jammer, Jamal Mayers, was the starting winger for the Blues that night, and I'm sure Jammer looked over at me and had a laugh that this fossil is finally retiring in the National Hockey League, and Jammer tapped me on the pads, and I played my last game for the Blackhawks in the NHL and back in April of 2000, and then TV for a couple of years in Pittsburgh in the Berg, working with the great late Mike Lang, who we unfortunately lost this year, and then I got into the coaching gig for a couple of years, and then I got back into the TV in Chicago, and then the national part on NBC, working with the great Doc Emmerich. And then when I came back to Chicago, I got a chance to work with the great Pat Foley. So the one thing that I know you boys are thinking is, man, you align yourself with some pretty damn good broadcasting.
Oh my God. I know,
man.
So it's been a hell of a run, and I'm enjoying every second of it. But yeah, there are times where it does get a little long, and the travel gets a little rough. But just taking naps when I can, and prepping when I can, and put a headset on and try to celebrate and talk about the greatest game in the world.
I get that. Go ahead.
What haven't you done, though, that you want to do? I know you've kind of dabbled a little bit with maybe getting involved as an executive and doing some of that stuff. Like, is that something that you really want to do eventually? Is that a challenge you would want? Like, you've done so much. You've played, you've coached, you've broadcasted, you've been around the game forever. Everyone knows who you are. You kind of have that flexibility to do whatever you want. Mm-hmm. So what would you want to do if they gave you an empty canvas and they said, hey, just write down what you want? What would it be?
Yeah, I mean, I still miss the challenge of being a part of the team, so to speak. Like, I am on a part of the team, a great team at TNT, and then obviously our broadcast team in Seattle. So, I mean, I do fulfill, I guess I should say, I do fulfill that rush of wanting to be a part of a team and figuring out when the shows aren't great and how can we be better. And then when I have a bad game is, okay, well, how can I learn from it and then make it better the next time? I'm always watching games like most hockey people are, not only prepping for the next game you might be working, or, you're prepping for a show or whatever it might be. But for me, I mean, there is still that passion of wanting to be a part of a team again. What level? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've been in a couple of situations where things were moving along in a good direction, where I thought that maybe there might be an opportunity in management, and it just didn't come to fruition, and that was okay. And I'll tell you what, I think I learned a lot more about the game when I've been able to be in that chair and have to answer questions from ownership groups or managers or team presidents. So a lot of that I think has really helped me in the broadcast booth. So, I mean, I guess if it's the wish list or the want list, it would have to be the right situation because I'm very comfortable. Like I said, I have an incredible family. As I mentioned, I keep going back to my 4 grandkids, but that, that is a super important part of our life now, my wife and I, and we're all in the suburbs of Chicago, so we get to be able to see each other all the time, and there is something for that. So, the situation I think would have to be, Andy, it would have to be a really intriguing opportunity somewhere that I would want to be, and then I would have to get the sign off of the boss and see if that would be a part of what our family has going on moving forward.
Did you like coaching?
Oh, I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. It was in that situation, Cam. It was in Pittsburgh. I was broadcasting for 3 years. The team was on their way to a major rebuild. And at that particular time, I had gotten the teaching and coaching bug. And I actually had talked about it for a year. So this was going back. I started in Pittsburgh and coaching in 03, 04. So in the 02-ish season, I started making some calls, talking to the Penguins, because there was a chance that they weren't going to have any coaches in their organization, at least from the minor league level down. And that was in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, and in Wheeling, West Virginia. And I thought, well, you know what? Well, I'm going to apply for one of the jobs or both of the jobs and start off where I think you need to start off at a lower level. It doesn't mean that it hasn't happened. We've seen it in baseball. We've seen, Aaron Boone and Bob Brenly do it in baseball. We've seen Marty St. Louis do it here recently in hockey. We saw Gretz do it. I tried to do it. But I think ideally in a situation is what I was thinking back in 02 was, start off in Wilkes-Barre in the American League and then work myself up. And I went in for the interview, and next thing you know, there were no coaches in the Pittsburgh Penguin organization. And Craig Patrick, who was the man in charge and the general manager and eventually my boss, who I've known since 1984, Craig's first head coaching job in his life was the New York Rangers, and he had no head coaching experience himself. Now, he did have experience of being, number one assistant to Herb Brooks on the Miracle on Ice back in 1980, but got to a point where I interviewed very well, and next thing you know, they were saying, hey, look, we're going to blow this thing up in Pittsburgh. We'd like you to grow. We'd like you to be able to, kind of be our spokesperson and sell hope. Because I had played a couple of years in Pittsburgh. I had broadcast in Pittsburgh. So I felt like I had a pretty good handle of everything. So all of a sudden it went from maybe going to Wheeling, West Virginia, or Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Pennsylvania, to getting offered the head coaching job of the Pittsburgh Penguins, where we were going to bottom out. And that year, I mean, we moved out some pretty good players. I mean, they had already traded Yager, a year before, and you still had guys like Marty Straka and Robert Lang there and Dick Tarnstrom. And, it had some good serviceable NHL players, but it was thinking about the draft and thinking about 5 years down the road. And, we bottomed out our first year. We actually went, and this is where I think I really grew as a hockey person and really, I think, proved to myself that how much I love the game. Now, the team that we had, it was pretty much playing 5-card stud with probably 2.5 cards, to be quite honest. We had finished. We had the 3rd overall pick that summer. And we needed a lot. We needed goalies, we needed centermen, we needed defensemen. We did not have a lot coming. So Craig Patrick moved up in the draft that year, and we went from 3rd overall. We made a trade with the Florida Panthers. They didn't need a goalie. We needed Marc-Andre Fleury. We didn't know what was going to end up happening in between with Carolina. So Craig says, well, what do you think about moving up to number 1 overall. I'm like, look, whatever we need to do to get Marc-Andre Fleury. I call him the kid. I still call him the kid after all these years. I know he's known as the Flower, but I knew him as the kid when he came into Pittsburgh, and we moved up in the draft. So it went Fleury number 1. We got him. It went Eric Stahl went number 2, and then Nathan Horton went 3rd because they had Bobby Lou and they didn't need a goalie. So we made a trade, and we ended up getting the number 1 overall pick. So that year, we didn't have a great team. You could argue we didn't have a great coach, but we were getting ready for the next couple of drafts. And the next draft was Ovi and Malkin.
Oh yeah.
And we were either going to get one of those two guys. That's just the reality of it. But what I was getting to is that we went 17 straight games that year without winning. Now you go back, there were ties. There were ties. So I think we were 12-5 in that streak, somewhere in that number. But like that's where the great challenge, Cam, to the heart of your question for me was continuing to build up the young players, continuing to sell hope to them, continuing to tell them, look, this isn't about winning and losing. This is about gaining that experience and in finding a way to become a better player, not only for today, but for down the road. So that aspect, and I think, I know one of the reasons why I got the job in Pittsburgh is because I could talk to our fan base. And as you guys know, in all sports, it's an important part for a head coach to be you're out there every day and you are the spokesperson or whatever you want to call it.
The face. Yeah.
I think, going through that for me was an unbelievable challenge. Now we ended up ending the streak in Arizona. We ended up beating my teammate now, Brian Boucher, which we ended our streak. We won it in overtime. And, we ended up going I think 12-5-3 the last 20 games of the regular season. And in saying that, we ended up with the 2nd overall pick. And we knew we were either going to get Ovi or we were going to get Gino. And we ended up getting Malkin 2nd overall. And then the next year was the work stoppage. We did not, we didn't play that year. If everybody remembers back the 04-05 season, there was no hockey. So then what was going to happen, because Sidney Crosby was the winning prize of whoever was going to get the number 1 overall pick. And it ended up being us in Anaheim. Now, fast forward to 2 drafts ago, it was Chicago and Anaheim that were fighting over Conor Bedard, right?
Yeah.
So if you think about it, Anaheim was in the running for Crosby. They didn't win it back, 20 years ago, whatever it was, close to that, I guess. And then fast forward, and they were in the running with Chicago with getting Conor Bedard, and they ended up finishing 2nd there too. So you think about history in the course of time, how things kind of really change, and you wonder how they would have been different if the ball would have bounced a different way or an envelope would have been slid in a different way. I mean, who knows what ends up happening. So I just think that when I did go through that, Cam, and us preparing for, what was down the road, I think that for me was part of the plan of we were planning for 5 years down the road and just planning through the draft. And you think about it, I would argue pretty salty when you can get Fleury 1st overall, you get Malkin 2nd overall, and then you get Sid number 1. I mean, the Penguins last 18 or 20 years you want to go. I mean, it was that time, and we planned it, I think, absolutely perfectly, and knowing the type of players that were coming. And you hear about generational players. I would argue that for the positive is that you could look at those 3 guys the Pittsburgh Penguins selected in back-to-back drafts and go, wow. I mean, they just didn't hit a home run. We just didn't hit a home run. I mean, we hit the ultimate grand slam when you think about generational players in those drafts. And I believe I believe you have to draft well. Is it the end all of everything? No, but I still think if you're going to win in the National Hockey League, you got to draft really well. And obviously, we were in a rebuild and we didn't play very well, and that was part of the plan. And the rest is history. So long-winded. Yeah, hell yes, I missed the coaching and teaching part of it. And selfishly, I would have loved to be able to see it through, for the next, 3, 4, 5 years and have a chance to really work with a full deck. But it didn't happen. But I would never trade in that experience for anything, because I think it made me a better hockey person, and I think it definitely made me a better broadcaster.
Would you like to see Crosby finish his career elsewhere if it meant that he had a chance to win another Stanley Cup? Like, where do you fall with that? There were a lot of rumors. George the Rock was like breaking. Like,
what was he doing?
He's like throwing stuff out there, and then he's like, "No, I'm just saying, like, he'd be Colorado would be a good fit." What would you like to see with Crosby?
Yeah, I'm going to say the same thing, because on the same level of knowing Patrick Kane and Duncan Keith and Jonathan Taves, as well as I have for all the years I did the local games here in Chicago, Andy, is that, and obviously having a relationship with Sid,
mm-hmm.
I want what he wants.
Yeah, I got you.
And if that's, if that's playing it out in the Berg, that's fine.
He's earned that right, right to do whatever the hell he wants.
I mean, I think without question. I think that it not many guys, right, Cam, and we can speak to that. I mean, not many guys get to, do those type of things on their terms and be able to call all the shots and determine. Now, he's such a competitive guy, and I think the situation that Pittsburgh's been in here the last little while, they had a chance to retool a couple of years ago, and they chose not to, and that's fine. It hasn't worked out. Now, I think Sid still has I think he's still got a couple of
for sure
really good years in him. I don't think there's any doubt. After that, I mean, that's up to him. If he wants to do the 1-year deals or whatever, I think that's fine. But for me, I want whatever he wants. If he wants to stay in Pittsburgh, great. If he wants to go and win or try to win and go and play with somebody that he wants to play with, and he has earned that right, and the Penguins should oblige that, and nobody should bat an eyelash in Pittsburgh. His legacy is cemented. So I would be interested to see how this all plays out here coming up, because I think it's an interesting time as he comes off the Four Nations. The regular season ends, goes back, see what type of team Pittsburgh. Obviously, a lot of changes, especially behind the bench. No more Mike Sullivan. Dan Muse in charge. Sully now in New York with the Rangers. You got the Olympics coming.
Yeah.
And, if knowing Sid, and he's going to be all lathered up like he was for the Four Nations. And look, anything could happen. We understand that. But that might be the only important hockey that he gets when it comes to playing for a championship or a gold medal or a Stanley Cup. Will that get him, thinking even more? I mean, look, it'd be hard pressed not to say that he hasn't thought about, what it would be like. Because I think every player that has ever played in a National Hockey League, you do have that, that fire inside you of like, geez, I've only known one place. For me, I seem to wear out my welcome every 3+ years. I came back to Winnipeg. I got traded out of there. I came back to Winnipeg. So that was a good thing. And then obviously coming back home, played my last 2 years in Chicago, which was a great thing. So, what it would be like, but I mean, he's such a loyal guy, and it'd be really interesting. But for me, I would just, whatever he wants. If he says, hey, I'm staying, I'd be, know what, man, that is awesome. And as long as you're happy, for what it's worth, I'm happy too. And if he wants to go and try to win somewhere after the Olympics next year, and he wants to go take a couple of runs at it because he's got 2 years left on his deal, God bless him. And I hope he goes where he wants to go and he plays with the guys he wants to play, and he can, he can get that chance to win again. So look at it. Maybe we've seen crazy stuff happen. Maybe the Penguins get on a heater early and he gains some confidence, and they can make the playoffs for the first time in a while. And obviously, this is uncharted territories for Sid. Mm-hmm. I mean, it kind of takes him back to his early years, and obviously, I was there for his early years where the team was kind of just finding their way and trying to improve or whatever. But he's seen. I mean, you talk about a roller coaster ride in the Berg for Sidney Crosby. I mean, he came in when it was low, But then when he got there, all of a sudden, the ascension was going to be like this. You knew exactly what was going to happen. And with all the pressure that he had on him, I mean, he is not disappointed one bit. So I'd be happy for whatever he wants. And, we know where he's destined to be in, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years from now. He's going to go down as one of the all-time greatest players ever to play in the National Hockey League.
Yeah, no,
Ever
see,
to
yeah,
play.
and like Malcolm probably moving on eventually. So, I don't know how that's going to impact Sid. But let me ask you this, because you know the television business as well as anybody. What do you think of the draft this past year? I mean, everyone seemed to have an opinion on it. Watching it on television, the teams obviously staying back in their home cities. For the NHL, like, how important is it that a marquee event like that, from a broadcast standpoint, that you do it right and you make it comfortable for the viewer? And I mean, you could just tell the league just wasn't super excited about it,
Yeah, I mean, I think they tried it, and I know there were numerous reasons, and I know there were a couple of I'll just say experienced general managers that were looking to do this. Had some issues with, travel, getting back from the draft, and then you have free agency.
Yeah.
So I get it. Look, there's a lot. Now, look, maybe we have to, and the league has changed under Commissioner Gary Bettman and Deputy Commissioner Bill Daly. I mean, the league has changed dramatically in a lot of different ways. Maybe the dates. Maybe we need to do a better job on the dates here. Maybe we have
push
to
it back.
Yeah.
Push free agency back a couple days. That's an easy fix. Yeah.
Exactly. Whatever it is. Maybe it's that. Now, I think the trying of the remote draft. I think we tried it, and did it have its pops and its benefits? 100%. I mean, there were a lot of cool things. I love I love the celebrities that were making the picks. I mean, I think there were a lot of things that you can draw from, and then maybe you can add those as once you go back and you get everybody together. Look, I'm old school. I was in the Montreal Forum back in 1984 when I got drafted. So for me, I'm old school. I think comfortably, I would say, is that the people that I've talked to, from high-ranking executives in the league to amateur scouts, and full disclosure, my oldest son Eddie is an amateur scout for the Seattle Kraken. So talked to a lot of people, and I think that most people would prefer the old way. But I think that we can learn from what happened a couple of days ago, and maybe add to it or whatever. I mean, I would be surprised if we did not go back to getting everybody in one city next year. And you want to do this every couple of years and make some tweaks, and make sure you got a landline phone there just in case it's not, the internet isn't working or whatever you want. No. I mean, that's going to happen. It's going to happen. But I commend the league. They get. I mean, I say we get hammered for a lot of things, and it's just kind of the world we live in when, things don't go smoothly, or negativity or whatever. But the league's awesome. They do a lot of great things, and the league is in a great place, and you got a lot of smart people making, tough decisions. And people have to remember, general managers and the board of governors, they have a lot, they can, it's like the guillotine. I mean, do we want it or no? Let's drop it. I mean, it's just not the commissioner. Right?
No, he's working for those guys.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, we have to, I think, as a game and as the media, we have to make sure that people understand. I mean, the commissioner has a lot of weight, 100%. And I thought he dropped a couple of good one-liners. I got to say, the commissioner, he is a little taller in person than he is on television. There is no doubt. But I mean, the league has people. The commissioner and the deputy commissioner, Mr. Bettman and Mr. Daly, they have to answer to ownership and the board of governors and general managers in a lot of situations. So I thought it was fine. I mean, there were some awkward moments, and you wish they didn't happen. But hey, it's live television, and we tried it, and we'll see where it goes from there. But I'd like to see him go back to the old school, get to Montreal, get to Vegas, get to St. Louis, get to Chicago, wherever, have the draft, get people together, get people in a room, and just see how organic it is, and obviously, a lot of these kids have been dreaming about this moment forever, and it's something that's going to stick with them. And it was just takes me back. It takes me back a long time ago. I mean, what is that? 16, 20, that's 41 years ago. It takes me back to being in a Montreal Forum and sitting there and getting drafted by my hometown team was obviously
they should have taken you ahead of Mario.
That's what I was thinking.
You should have gone ahead of Mario.
How dare they?
Yeah, well, as I love to say, I was the 3rd overall pick that year to the Chicago Blackhawks. And by the way, another I shouldn't say anything about a very famous 3rd overall pick was drafted in the same year in the city of Chicago, by the way.
Oh, MJ, baby.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. That's right. Let's see.
Are you? Oh,
nice. Look at you three.
Who's the other one in the picture? I can't see.
Karl-Heinz Granitza, soccer player.
Oh, nice.
Oh, he's got that pumpkin pie haircut.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know about my hair, but yeah, that's where it ends with yours truly and MJ.
I love it. You guys ever golf together?
Yeah, do you know him?
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, back in the day, it was we had some fun. I played with him. I think I played with him in one charity event, and then played behind him in another tournament. But I mean, no foursome, no like real golf. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, no. I mean, back in the day, I could hold my own. I'm not. I've kind of lost my. I lost my passion for golf in the last little while, but I mean, just like unbelievable. So being the 3rd overall pick, as I was getting to, and then I had to drop in that little nugget with Michael. I say often, the Penguins made the right decision by selecting Mario first. It was Mario and everybody else. Kirk Muller, myself, Al Iafrate, Peter Svoboda, Shane Corson, Gary Roberts, all due respect. Oh, by the way, I think Luke Robitaille that year was like the 218th pick overall in the draft that year. And Lucky's still scoring goals, I think. So, yeah, pretty amazing.
What do you think of Conor Bedard, and what do you expect out of him this year?
Oh, I think it's a huge year. I think it'll be interesting. I know Jeff Blashill very well. We've known each other for 20, 25 years, and we actually coached together back in the summer of 2006. I was the head coach. He was my assistant. We coached Team USA over at the Ivan Halinka tournament in August, and had the late Jimmy Hayes on our team. Had Ryan McDonough was one of our defensemen. So I mean, we had some. We lost to Canada in the championship game, but that's where Blash and I really kind of hit it off and got a chance to become friends. And I'm super happy for him. I think he'll do a great job in Chicago. Obviously, I mean, they've been in a rebuild for a while, and hopefully they can turn the ship around for the league and obviously for the city of Chicago and the Blackhawks. I think my biggest question, Cam, is he, this being Conor Bedard, is he a center iceman? He's bounced back and forth. At times when he's played wing, he's only had to worry about 140 feet of the rink. And, we know he can shoot the puck, and he's got unbelievable offensive instincts. And I think that's got to work itself out first. So that would be, to me, the biggest question mark is he a center or is he a wing? And then I think as an organization or as a team, then you can, then you could start filling in your spots. Like I think Frankie Nazar is he's good, man. Really, really good player. He played unbelievably well for Team USA at the World Championships, and it was our first World Championships in 300 years. So way to go, USA, to finally win at the World Championships. I think I played in 4 or 5 World Championships. I think I played in 4 World Championships, and it was some of the some of the greatest relationships and experience that I had. Believe it or not, I know I'm bouncing all around, so remind me to go back to Nazar when I can. But I think it was 86, and Andy, you're super tech savvy, so you can look this up while I tee it up. I believe the 1986 World Championships were in Moscow, and we were over there playing, and about 8 or 10 days in, our interpreter, Sergey, so shockingly, his name was Sergey. Sergey calls me up to the front of the bus, and he says, Eddie, he opens up the Moscow Times, and he goes to like page 28 of 30. And he goes, look, nuclear leak. I go, what nuclear leak? What do you mean nuclear leak? He goes, nuclear leak in Chernobyl. I go, where is, how far is this place? He goes, don't worry, 300 miles away. Don't worry. I go, don't worry. Like, which way is the wind blowing? That's what I said to him, you know? And I'm like, what? So we were there.
Wow.
We were there in the World Championship. Am I right on the year, Andy?
Yeah.
86?
Oh yeah. It was in Russia. Soviet. They won the gold medal too.
but was it 86 when Chernobyl happened?
You're damn right.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I mean, we were over there, and again, I mean, don't need to get in depth on this, but like there was nothing. Like, no, he goes, 8 days ago. I'm like, 8 days? Like, are we safe? Like, everybody was like, nuclear leak. Like, what the hell is going on here? You know? So that was one of my experiences of playing in the World Championship for Team USA.
Was Brett Hull on your team in '86?
I think Hully was there. I think you know what? I want to say, the late great Peter McNabb might have been on our team too at that time. I can't even remember the roster.
It said Brett Hull. He led your team in scoring. Sergei Makarov led the tournament in scoring. But
Makarov.
Holy, he led the Americans in scoring, with 11 points in 10 games.
Remember, we were doing like the half moon warm up with the goalies there at practice there, Cam. You know, we just stand around and he passed one puck out there.
Yeah.
And Holy had, I think he had the 2-piece going. I think he had the Easton going. And like he got the puck on his stick, and obviously growing up in Chicago, I knew Bob. I knew of Bobby, and I remember seeing highlights of him and whatever. But he got the puck on his stick, and when Hully would get the puck on his stick, I'm like, how does he get it from the toe to the heel and then behind the goaltender? And he had this, when you sat there and you watched it and you listened, when the thing came off his stick, it just was like, it's just like, you just heard it. Like I really had never seen or heard that before. And we were just like amazed. And like, how is this guy not in the NHL yet? Like,
with that shitty stick too, by the way. Could you imagine what he had now? I mean, ripping pucks, leaning into him. Because he leaned into those shots.
I know. He was just wristing him. He wasn't one time. He was just kind of wristing. I'm like, this guy's going to go to Calgary and score he's going to score 70 goals. He's going to score 80 goals. Like that. That was the feeling that we all had when he was playing in the World Championships, you know? So, but getting back to Chicago and Nazar, like I had people tell me that were a part of Team USA at the World Championships is like they were, I'm going to say it for him. Like they were blown away at how great he was. Like he played awesome. And I really like the way that he finished the season. So, they've got a guy there that they can really build around at the center ice position. Now, again, going back to Bedard, he can shoot it. You got to get him in those situations. Obviously, the defensive part of the game, he improved on his face-offs, certainly at the end of the year, which was a great thing to see. So I think it's just it's a work in progress for him, and expectations are large. Like they need him to be that guy that I think everybody's expecting him to be. Yeah. Now, whether or not that becomes a consistent 40-goal scorer, 50-goal scorer, I don't know. I don't see him in practice enough. I don't, obviously I've done a few games, but I don't see him all the time. I do watch a lot of the games and just, watch how he he plays and how he maneuvers out there. So, I mean, obviously, I mean, it's a big year. I think it's a big year for him, confidence-wise, and everybody expected him to be on Team Canada at the Four Nations, but I mean, he didn't have a great year, and I don't know if you want to say he didn't deserve to be there, then that's fair to say. Now, what's going to happen this year? And you got the Olympics coming around, and is he going to be a part of that roster coming up? So I think it's a big year for him on a lot of reasons. It's interesting he didn't go to the World Championships, which I kind of thought was interesting for Canada. I don't know if he was banged up. I don't know if you guys heard he was banged up or not. I don't know any of that, but it's a big year for him because I think everybody is expecting him to take that next step. So what is that next step? Does he become a 40-40 guy? Does he become a 40-50 guy? Obviously, you need better players around him, and it's been a tough go there, and so it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out for him. But I really like the Nazar kid. I mean, I think he's got a chance to be a really, really good game-breaking type of player, for the Blackhawks here. And he might already be. He might already be with the way he's performed at the end of last year and at the World Championships. He's got to have a lot of confidence too, Cam and Andy, right? I mean,
damn right.
Coming off the World Championships, oh man, he's got to be.
We just talked to Taves Thompson. He was on here a few weeks ago too, man. So like those guys are all feeling it right now. Who went over there and Nazar? I saw him play live for Michigan. They played in the NCAA tournament game here in St. Louis, like not the Frozen Four, but the regional games, and he was just so explosive. His skating was unbelievable. Great finisher. So electrifying off the rush.
He's got separational speed.
Yes. Oh my God.
Which is, it's a tool that allows you to, with the way teams check now, Cam, right? Like back in our day, it was okay. Back check to the red line. And if you don't have anybody, look over your shoulder and just pick up everybody, right? But now, they're back checking and they're backtracking and like you got one guy, you're worried about the D and then you got to worry about somebody in your back pocket. He's got that ability to get separational speed, which, it's hard because most guys, and I'm a prime example, is that when I got the puck on my stick, I became an anchor. Like I slowed down when I got the puck. Guy like that doesn't happen. Like he almost gets faster. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, I think he might be faster when he gets the puck, just out of knowing that he's got to move the moneymakers, right? He's got to get the legs turning. He's got to get him going. And then he's able to get that separational speed and then be able to make plays. And then, worrying about, who's in front of him and then buying some time for his line mates or defensemen to be able to jump into the play. He's, I'm excited. I'm excited to see where he really goes here for the Blackhawks here moving forward.
What do you think of Mitch Marner? Like, what's your read on him? And listen, all signs point towards him going to Vegas. It's a very Vegas thing to do, which, listen, I've come to appreciate Vegas, to be honest with you, over the last couple of years, man. They try to win and they go for it. And I love their mentality, probably more so than I did when they first came into the league because they were just trying to get everybody, But there's a method behind the madness. There's no question with Kelly McCrimmon. Marner, like, does he take too much heat? You think we're going to get a different read on him now, being out of Toronto, under that microscope, and people are just going to be able to appreciate what he does well? Like, how do you look at him as a player? How do you evaluate him?
Well, full disclosure, I do have a soft spot for number 16s in Toronto. So I got to make sure that I got to make sure. Well,
for Darcy Tucker. Darcy
we're
Tucker.
Going on a tour,
baby.
Are you a Darcy Tucker fan? Is that what it is?
I would probably say that's one guy there that probably nothing like an Eddie Olczyk. Probably rather go through you than around you, but that's for another or pitchfork you right in the chicklets, I guess. So. I'm a big fan. I think that he is a complete player. Mm-hmm. Now, I know what the knock is on him when it comes to the playoffs and the playoff numbers and being in Toronto. I understand that. But if I'm not mistaken, on the highest stage, at the highest really level that we've had of hockey in a very, very, very long time, when you've had the best on best, did Mitch Marner not play pretty damn well in the Four Nations for Canada. Again, I know it's only, what was it, 3 games, 4 games, whatever it was. It doesn't matter. But the guy showed up, and I think he set up the
game winner.
The goal,
Yeah, right,
did he
he
not?
did.
Yeah.
Hellebuck should have had it, but
I
go
agree.
ahead.
Yeah, well, we can
I agree with that.
we can argue about the positioning of one's glove in that particular situation, but I think regardless of where he goes, I think you're going to get the same. I think you're going to get the same numbers. I think you're going to get the same stats. I think you're going to get the same type of player. There's pressure. I mean, I'm an old guy, so I know there was no social media back in the late 80s. I understand that. I understand, but it's still Toronto. There's still sports radio back in the late 80s. There's
No
still
shit.
Newspapers.
No
yeah,
shit.
I mean, it was a demanding place to play. I actually felt less pressure playing in Toronto than I did in my hometown.
Okay.
Cam, you know what it's like.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's not, it's not easy. I mean, you want to do so well for so many people is you just, you try too hard, like your focus probably isn't where it should be. And I would say for Mitch Marner, being a Toronto kid, I'm sure that he put himself in a spot where he dealt with it a certain way. And for me, when I went to Toronto, I wanted the pressure. I wanted to be that guy to either get booed or to be serenaded. That was just me. And my career took off for whatever reason when I got to Toronto my first year. And now I did change positions because I was a natural centerman. I played wing in the Olympics in '84. And then when I came to Chicago, I played wing my first 3 years. But I was asked to play the center ice position when I went there in '87, '88. So things did change. I got, more power play time. I got more opportunity in certain roles and killing penalties and those type of things. So, but I think for Mitch Marner, you're going to get the same exact player. It's hard to find guys that have an impact on every part of your game. I'm sorry. He's really good defensively. He kills penalties. He can create. He can score. What else is there for a winger in the National Hockey League?
Yeah, I know, man. I'm with you.
I think he'll be fine wherever he ends up. And will there be less pressure in Vegas? I mean, I don't know. I mean, if he's going there for 4 years and he's going to get 12 schmil a year, I mean,
There's
I
gonna
guess
be
there's
pressure.
pressure
Hell yeah.
there's pressure to perform, but the team he's going to have around him, I mean, he's going to get a lot of touches. He's going to play with really good players. And so I like the player a lot, and not just because he wore 16 in Toronto.
Hey, what do you think of, and Biz and Gary Bettman talked about it on a panel a couple weeks ago about tax-free states. Gary shut it down, like, no, why is it happening now? Back in the day, no one wanted to go. I mean, what's your take on Florida and Nashville and Dallas and
Vegas,
Seattle?
Yeah. I'm sure it is a tough just knowing teams in those markets and then knowing teams on the outside. I believe the recruitment aspect, and I lived it back in 03 to the Christmas of 05 when I was coaching in Pittsburgh. I kind of think that's kind of where it all, I won't say it all started, but I think you'll know where I'm going here. I feel that especially today's players, they want this, they want to be courted, they want to be shown around, they want to bring their wives or their girlfriends or their families. And the importance of NHL teams now is at its highest of when you are recruiting and selling your brand to the players of today. It's always going to be about the money. It always has been. It always will be. But if you're going to be in a situation where you're going to be either the man or one of the guys, depending on your role, the players want and need to be courted. And I think the recruitment level, and now I know it's a lot different now because, no, I shouldn't say it's a lot different now. It's just a lot different now because it's legal. So when college or high school athletes start getting recruited by colleges, they walk in officially with a bag of money, or they walk in with, Venmo or whatever it is, and go, well, like, we'd really, love you to be here. Look at that. That happened back in the day. Okay, I'm just going to tell you that happened in the
under
day
the table. Now it's out in the open.
It is, but it's not as it's not as large, and you're not getting as much fresh powder now as or then as you are now, and that's okay. But I think the recruitment aspect of selling your city, selling your brand, having players on your team be willing to pick up a phone or get on an airplane, go with the general manager or the team president and go to these agents' offices or go knock on this player's door and sell what you can. And you may get shut out 99 out of 100. But the one time where you hit a home run with the player and with the family and with the spouse or with the girlfriend, that's what it's come to. And I think teams in certain areas need to do a better job of that. So what I'm getting at is when you do have a lot of these markets where you sit there and go, well, geez, I don't have to pay an 8% or 9% or a 10.5% state tax. And that's a full house. I mean, that is a tough hand to try to play against. But I think there are certain markets, great hockey cities, that don't have that ability. So there are other ways that you have to be able to maneuver, and within, the rules of the salary cap is to be able to bring and sell that market and that franchise to these particular players. So is it an advantage? Hell yes. Let's just call it what it is. It is, because when the player looks at it, okay, but now it's up to those other teams to be able to try to negotiate against those particular teams that don't have the state tax. And it just happens that, like, in some of they're pretty damn good teams that you sit there and go, exactly, I can go get a lot of powder and I can go and have a chance to definitely make the playoffs and have a chance at making a run at the Stanley Cup. You're sitting there going, yeah, well, why wouldn't I? And then you want to talk about lifestyle, you want to talk about weather, all that kind of stuff. That's fine. The one thing I'm going to add, and I'll just close on this subject, and you guys can go wherever you want on this. Like, I don't ever hear, and again, I'm not my son is a full-blown CPA, but I'm not, maybe I'm playing one on your podcast. I believe is Alberta does not have as high as a provincial tax as British Columbia, Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec. Yes. They have an advantage. I haven't heard anybody talk about how they have an advantage over, the 5 other teams or whatever the number is, when it comes to, I believe, provincial tax, which I think is much lower than it is anywhere else in Canada. So, it's just the way that it is. And like the commissioner says, 15 years ago, maybe guys were thinking about going to Florida for maybe not the right reasons, so to speak, all due respect. Maybe they just wanted to go and retire and live in an unbelievable place and, ride off into the sunset. And that's happened. But we've seen that happen in New York and in Chicago and in LA. Yeah. So it's interesting dynamic, but it is an advantage. But then I challenge those other teams to be able to, figure out. And do you have to overpay to get some guys? Yeah, you have to. That's just the way that it is. Mm-hmm. But a lot of these teams, I think a lot of the markets sell themselves, and you got to figure it out. You got to have a presence in that room of selling whatever you're selling to those players and to their families, and you got to court them. And I think if you don't do that, then I don't think you're doing your position or your ownership any good, because that's the way it is. And I think today's players want that.
Yeah. All right, a few more minutes for you, man. You've
Sure.
been great. We appreciate it. All right, so rank these in terms of what you're most excited about, which I don't think you're going to.
Okay, hey, hold on. Can I just say something before I forget real quick, Andy?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's up?
I had this on my notes during the finals, and sometimes shit happens and you don't get to it. I would like to see a Stanley Cup final MVP as well as the Conn Smythe Trophy for the playoffs. I think you could have two different winners.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue that if you did have a second, if you had an MVP just for the Stanley Cup final, you could argue that maybe the vote might have been split between Marchand, Bobrovsky, and Bennett.
Yeah.
Like you could have you could argue that. And by the way, and then some guy scores 4 goals in game 6. And
I know.
And all of a sudden he's dropping in from a helicopter, whatever. I'm looking. I think it would be great, because you could have a guy that plays unbelievable for the playoffs and helps his team get to the Cup final, and then maybe is okay, or but deserves to be the MVP of the playoffs. But then if you have a guy that's has an unbelievable Cup final, you sit there and go,
he wins the Conn Smythe.
Marshy, he scored 2 OT GWGs. Like, how does he not?
I know.
How does he not win the MVP of the Stanley Cup final? And that's okay. But look, I would call it the Wayne Gretzky Award without any hesitation. I would put Gretz's name on it if he wants. Again, I don't know if he would want that or whatever. But I don't know what you guys would think. But I think it'd be great for the game. I think it'd be great banter. And just something that I was thinking about. I wish I would have broached it during the final, because I think we had a couple of windows to do it, but just sometimes it's live TV and just things don't stick. So what would you guys think about that?
Basketball, do they do that? No,
they have a finals.
Doesn't Shaq always brag about it?
Finals MVP. They don't have
I think they got a conference. I think they got a conference final MVP.
They do. Yeah, which is new, I think.
Then they do the final. Yeah,
I never heard of that. I didn't know they had it until this year, but maybe they've had it all along.
Shaq tells
Barkley perfect example though is Jaden Schwartz, man. When the Blues won the playoff, the Stanley Cup, he was unbelievable the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. I mean, they wouldn't even gotten out of those.
Sure.
He was the MVP of the first half of the playoff. The first 2 rounds.
So I'll put that in the suggestion box, and we'll see if it gets any tread.
Okay, so rank these in terms of what you're most excited to see. Is it Jonathan Taves returning? Is it Duncan Keith going into the Hall of Fame? Because this guy's resume is unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
People don't even realize. I'm like looking at his credentials, like, holy shit. I mean, he had 2, Norris trophies in addition to the international and the Stanley, 3 Stanley. This guy's just an awesome, awesome hockey player. And Joel Quenneville returning behind the bench. In Anaheim. I mean, I could have asked you these individually, but I'll lump them into one question, man. I mean, that is a lot happening for somebody that was around in Chicago during the heyday there,
I mean, look at super, super happy and excited for all 3 individuals who I consider our friends, have been, always will be. Full disclosure, for the first year, this past year was my first year on the Hockey Hall of Fame voting committee. So I was a part of the committee that selected this year's nominees, and I mean, just from the men's side, on the player side is you talk about Duncan Keith, you talk about Zdeno Chara, Alexander Mogilny, Alexander Mogilny getting in, for the first, finally after, 12 or 13 years. So when you look at this class, just, you know, I mean, just an amazing class. I'm interested on Jonathan Taves from the aspect of where he was physically, where he was mentally coming out of COVID, and him saying he was diagnosed with long COVID, and then not playing for the last couple of years. How is he going to, get that timing back? How is he going to be used by Scott Arniel in Winnipeg? I'm happy for him. He gets the chance to play in his hometown. So I think that to me is probably the one that I'm most intrigued and excited to see.
Sure, yeah.
Because he's going to get an opportunity to, he's coming back on his terms, and the role that he's going to get, like now I know Adam Lowry had surgery in mid-May or end of May or whatever. I don't know what his timetable is. I know there's some rumors and speculation, but I'm not going to get into that. But I think that, he's obviously going to be able to help in the room for sure. I mean, Cam, right? I mean, a guy like Jonathan Taves walks in the room, like he could be off for 3 or 4 years, and every guy in that room knows what he's accomplished and what he's done internationally, and where he's from, and what he did in Chicago. So I think that's going to really, really help. I think it's really going to help the Winnipeg Jets inside that dressing room. And it's just a matter of, 2 years is 2 years. Do I have some question on, will he be able to maneuver, and will he be able to, have an impact in certain areas? Absolutely not, because I just think he's too smart of a player. Now, the legs were going on him at the end, now did that have something to do with what he was battling for those years of long-term COVID and all that? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't want to try to play one on your podcast, but that's a long time for somebody to be off. And, he's got a lot of tread on his tires, and, I'm just telling you, I'll be tuning in. I'll be tuning in when he's playing his first game. And
you're going to have a lot of broadcasts in Winnipeg coming up this year. I hope you're ready. Pack your coat.
Hey, I would not have a problem with that. I love Winnipeg. I was there 5 years. I loved it there. I got so many friends there, and I mean, like I said, I'm just happy for Johnny that he's feeling well enough to come back and try and play. And I hope it goes well. I hope he plays 82, or how many games are we playing this year? 84? How many are we playing?
95.
All right. So no preseason. So no preseason, or what are we playing? One or two? What are we doing?
I think 4.
4 preseason.
Okay. Okay.
You'll be in every one of them too.
Nice. So, whatever it is. But I'm super happy for Dunk. I mean, a no-brainer, first balloter, and we're all friends with Joel. I mean, there's nobody better, and I'm happy for him that he's back, and I'm looking forward to seeing. He's got a pretty good team out there in Anaheim.
He does. He could get better.
Yeah, well,
Today's Tuesday. We're dropping this on Tuesday. Yeah. They could get better today too.
They're going to get better. I promise you, they are going to get better. And obviously with Johnny coming back, I'm happy for Winnipeg, and I'm happy for him and his family.
What about Seattle? How was the draft, and what do you expect out of that team this year?
Well, it was a major disappointment, Cam, last year. I mean, I thought that they had a good enough team assembled. Their power play was not very good. Their penalty killing had some good stretches, but that let them down. I think the roster assembled should have made the playoffs, and they did it. And obviously they made massive changes. So this year they seem to go for some size in a lot of their picks. They took they took Vernon Fiddler's son,
Mm-hmm.
defenseman that played out in the dub out there in Edmonton. He's a 6'5" right-handed, pretty good puck-moving defenseman. I'll be honest with you. Like, I saw him play last year, and I kind of took a note on him. And I mentioned during one of our broadcasts that, like, keep an eye on Vern Fiddler's son. He looked like he, as a 17-year-old, he performed very well in the Western League, and he ends up going, I think, in the second round this year to Seattle. So the last couple of years have been a disappointment, Cam, because of what they did 2 years ago, where they took out Colorado. They got to within one goal of getting to the conference finals against Dallas, a Game 7. Everybody that year had career years. And I think that maybe it was masked a little bit because every single guy seemed to score 20 goals, and they got depth up and down the lineup, and their D played really well. Vince Dunner played, he played unbelievable. So, I think for them is they got to, they got to make a run at the playoffs this year. They do.
Mm-hmm.
And be interesting to see what other moves they made. They picked up Veleno. They picked up Goodrow, Freddie Goodrow from Minnesota. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do in free agency. But I got to imagine that with all the changes that's happened, with Ron Francis going upstairs, Jason Botterill going in to be the GM. Full disclosure, my brother Ricky is still there as the AGM and vice president. So hoping that they can turn it around, because the last couple of years, especially last year, with getting Montour, getting Stevenson, I think their expectations were to make the playoffs, and obviously, the majority of the coaching staff paid the price with changes there, and now Lane Lambert is the head coach in Seattle.
Yeah. All right, two more things for you. And I don't know what you can say because you're on the Hall of Fame committee, but I'm curious, Keith Tkachuk, I feel like next year is a good opportunity for him. You look at Bergeron coming in, Carey Price, who didn't get in this year. Maybe he's a guy who falls and gets into on his second year, and that leaves a couple of open spots for a couple of other players to get inducted. Like, is he a guy now with Rona getting in that it's only a matter of time he's going to get in at some point here?
Well, this is there's a disclosure.
And he's your former teammate. I know he's a good friend of yours, so that's why I'm asking.
And I did give him his nickname. Don't forget.
You did.
You were the one.
And you know what? I'll never forget.
That's right.
It was 0506, and I remember him sitting in the trainer's room, and we were all just shooting the shit. You walk by, and like, I didn't realize you guys knew each other so well, and like, you're like, wow, blah, blah. And then you walked away, and he told me that. He's like, yeah, he's the one who gave me the nickname Walt, so, which is amazing. It fits him perfectly, by the way.
Yeah. Quickly, so when Keith came to Winnipeg, and there was a legendary New York Ranger named Walt Tkachuk.
Yeah.
Spelled differently, obviously, Tkachuk, but very, very similar with the TK and the, a lot of the TK in there, right? So when he came, I just looked at this guy and I go, he's kind of built like Walt Tkachuk too, like just, big body, and everything. And when he walked in there, he came in there, he had like this cast on his wrist. I think he was having wrist problems or hand problems coming from the Olympic team or whatever. And next thing you know, you saw it in full display. I think his first game in like 3 shifts in, we're playing the Blues, and drops the gloves with Mel. He's dropping with Scott Mellenby, and he's fighting Mel there right at center ice in Winnipeg. So, again, disclosure, I am on the committee for the Hockey Hall of Fame. But I have said in the past, excuse me, prior to me becoming a member of the selection committee, and it's out there, I believe Walt is a Hall of Famer. And I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I got you.
We'll leave it at that.
I got you.
I like that.
I like that too.
Does Matthew or Brady, they remind you of Keith?
Oh, jeez.
When he was at that age, or no? I mean, I've seen these kids since they were little kids all the way up. I mean, we love the family, but you saw Walt play as a teenager coming into the NHL. So who's more like him? Is it Matthew or Brady in your opinion?
I would probably lean. I would before this year, I kind of thought it was more Brady, but not when being around Matthew so much during the the playoff run and whatever, like the more and more I have a conversation with him, the more and more I'm going like
they're the same.
Geez, you're just like you're just like your dad. Which is a great thing, and I love him. I saw Walt. Or let me start over. We're sitting in Fort Lauderdale waiting for Game 6, and the last time I saw Walt and Chantel was on the beachfront 2 years prior during the Cup final against Vegas.
Okay.
And I went and sat back down on the beach wall there, and it was game morning, and it was like 9:20 in the morning. And I said to myself, I'm going to see Chantel and Walt today. I know it. I just know it. And I turn, and all of a sudden I look, and there's the sun. And then all of a sudden, here comes this man that just blocks the sun. And then here comes Chantel right next to him. And I go, I knew it. I knew it. I'm yelling at Chantel. I said, I knew I was going to see you. Chantel being Walt's lovely wife. And then I see him there. We had we talked about the old days, talking about the boys, talking about, they always ask how my kids are. And, Eddie, my oldest son, Eddie, he was an amateur for Seattle, sees Walt a lot because Walt's out there doing stuff for the Blues, and he sees him out there. But, just getting back to Brady and to Matthew, it's like, yeah. I think I said on the air, I said, those two apples, they didn't fall far from the tree. I'm just telling you. They just did not. And and I tell Walt and Chantel this because it's them, and they are such respectable and unbelievable community leaders that we have representing the National Hockey League, not only in Ottawa, not only in Florida, but obviously there's strong ties to St. Louis, but in USA Hockey, like they have done. They are just, I call them kids, because they're always going to be kids, and I know they're men, but they're just so, they're just so classy, and I always enjoy it. Anytime I get a chance to see the boys or talk to them, I always shoot Big Walt a text and just say, hey man, just let you know, man, your kids are, they're good. You did good. You did good. And he's amazing.
He says that's because of Chantel, right?
Yeah. I thought Brady initially, but I'm thinking more and more now. I'm going, geez, yeah, Matthews. I think when we were talking before, I forget which game it was. We give him a hug, and then when he walked away, he was walking, and I'm like, man, I've seen that ass before.
yeah.
That big ass. Maybe not now, Big Walt, but back in the day.
That's
what I mean?
funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
So last thing for you. Having Wayne Gretzky be a part of the panel there at TNT and now working with him on the broadcast side. Like, I'm not just saying this, and I've said it to Cam, I've said it on the show several times. He's like the best analyst going right now, studio analyst. You know what I mean? Like, everything he says is like perfect. Yeah. Even when they try to set him up to kind of take a shot, he can say Edmonton has goaltending issues in the most profound, respectful, professional way ever. Yeah. But his point comes across so clear. Yeah. He's like, he's perfect. You know what I mean? He's so good at doing what he's doing. You think he likes it? Like, will he continue doing this as long as...
I hope so.
I hope so.
He's awesome. He is awesome. Obviously, playing against him for all those years, and then, as we said, it's nice to be on the same team with him, now. And he just, his memory, his ability to be able to be so eloquent and to be able to make a point and to just do it in such a professional manner where it's just so smooth and it's so natural.
Yeah.
It takes our show. It takes our, when he's around, like, I mean, there's a pressure. I'm being totally honest. Like, even though, like, you know, the studio guys, it's one show, but the studio guys have their, you know, have their shtick, and then, you know, we have ours on the air. But we're always, you know, we're always trying to listen. Like, sometimes we're not able to, but we're always trying to listen to hear what Gretz is saying, and Biz and Anson and Hendrick and Liam, and be able to make it all one show, you know, to be able to refer to something that Gretz had mentioned or he said. But I mean, I hope he's awesome at it. Like, I wish he was on more, to be honest with you. Like, I mean, I wish he was on more during the regular season, but you know, he's earned the right to work whenever he wants and to show up whenever he wants. He's the ultimate team player. He is just so respectful and classy, and everybody is invited. Everybody is around. Like, I mean, he is an unbelievable storyteller. Like, you learn so much, you have so much fun. And you're right though, Andy, he just has the most professional way to be able to answer a question or to go to a direction that is respectful about the game. And look at, when you think about Wayne Gretzky, you think about the game of hockey, and you could say he is the National Hockey League. He is again, because look, we've had so many unbelievable players that have played, you know, prior to him. You know, when he talks about Gordie Howe, I mean, you know, he becomes 7 feet tall when he talks about Gordie Howe, you know, and I mean, that to me, like, what I'm just talking out loud here, but for me, I always took great pride in knowing about the players that came before me. Look, I played over 1,000 games. I think I had a good career. You know, I had some really good seasons, but I knew and took great pride in the players that came before me. And then being in that time from 84 to 2000, you know, all the players, and then when I became in broadcasting, like, I think I would like to see, especially with the tools that everybody has at their disposal now, is I don't know where over the years, and Cam, I'm sure you could speak to this, is when was the time of players maybe not knowing that a certain player or players of the time that they played and what type of players that they were. I mean, I could just say this: if I had the internet and I would have known everything about every player. But I guess what I'm getting at is the passion that Gretz has. It's infectious, and he, like, go back 25, 30 years when he was playing, or the players that came before him. He just has that knowledge, you know, and in knowing whether the guy played 80 games or the guy played 800, or he was right-handed or left-handed, or he got traded for this guy or whatever. I just, like I said, I mean, today's player is awesome. Most players are awesome, but I just wonder if they do know the players that came before them as much as maybe our era, so to speak.
I don't think they do.
Yeah.
I don't, unfortunately, and they have all the tools to do it, just like you said.
Right. Yeah. I
mean, my cutoff was probably mid 80s.
Yeah, right.
Before that, but you know, some of the 70s guys, the tough guys and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
sure.
But I think these kids, I don't know. They have every opportunity to look it up.
Yeah.
Look up whatever you want. So.
Yeah. And then, I mean, look, you guys have an unbelievable. Look, I know this. I mean, you guys have an unbelievable alumni. You know, they're in St. Louis, and there are a lot of cities that do have, you know, very strong alumni and what have you. And it's always, and I've seen it because like I said, I've worn a few jerseys and been back for alumni events and what have you. But sometimes, you know, when players don't know, you know, certain things, you know, sometimes it kind of makes you wonder, and you wonder, like, where's the alumni going to be in 20 years or 25 years, right?
True.
So like that's kind of the thing that I think about moving forward. But it's just the game is in a great place.
It is.
And just so lucky to be a small part of it on the broadcast side, and got great people like yourselves that do what you do and always grace the cross paths and talk about the great game of hockey and talk about the old days, talk about the new days.
Yeah, baby.
And, we'll see what takes part over the next couple of days and in the free agency. So should be a lot of fun to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I'm right. You're the man,
Eddie,
dude.
thanks, man. We
Hey,
appreciate it.
Happy 4th of July, baby.
Yeah.
Let's
Hey,
go.
it.
Yeah, you too. And thinking about Chaser.
Hell
All
yeah.
right, thinking about Chaser here. And I'm a cancer survivor. Hard to believe I've been outside my battle since clean bill of health since March of 2018, and very lucky. But we're thinking about everybody that's in the battle, and especially Chaser. So thumbs up to Chaser.
He's tougher and shit.
And
you know
I'll
that, baby.
remind people, go back and listen to the first time you came onto the show, because we dug deep into that. It was
Damn
an
right.
unbelievable interview. So
You look great, man.
Yeah.
We're
You do.
trying. We're trying.
You look damn good. I'm jealous of you.
Yeah.
I don't know about the damn part, but the good part. We'll
You
take
look
it.
good.
And I met one of your sons during the playoffs. He was in St. Louis working the St. Louis Winnipeg.
Oh, Nicky,
games.
my son Nick.
Nicky.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Nicky he does
Great.
color. He does color in Utah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Great kid.
My son Nick. Yeah. Thank
You
you.
did good.
Maybe it was one of the last games of the season. It was towards the end of the year. He was here.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he did the Winnipeg. I think Winnipeg, right?
Yeah, it was. Okay, good.
Yeah, it was
there,
Winnipeg. Yeah.
during the playoffs. So,
Oh.
all right, all the best.
Happy
Eddie. We
4th.
appreciate it.
Love those sweaters. Yeah, happy 4th, everybody.
Thanks a lot.
Talk to you
All right.
soon.
We'll
Be
talk
cool,
soon.
man. See you,
Take
buddy.
care. Bye-bye. The Chemistry Podcast is brought to you by Bellman. Behlmann. Bellman Automotive. Located where?
Troy.
Troy, Missouri. Buick GMC on one side of the street. Right on the other side, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. Get yourself some new wheels in time for the winter. That was Eddie O, baby.
Great guy.
Listen, free agency today. Enjoy it. It's always a holiday,
Yeah.
man. Everyone's going to be paying attention to what's going on. We appreciate Eddie O coming on with us and giving us his insight, dude. He knows a lot of shit.
He does know a lot.
Very
of stuff.
smart,
Been in the
man.
game a long time, man.
Very
Damn good
smart.
at what he does too.
And one of the nicest people you're ever going to meet.
I mean, his whole family works in Seattle.
They do.
You know.
Brother, everybody.
Yeah, his brother does too. Yeah. He's assistant GM.
Sons.
Son's working, doing
Yeah.
is it play-by-play?
Yeah.
Or he's on the
Yeah.
panel.
We may end up working there, too. You never
Shit,
know.
I'd live in Seattle. I would. Stepping over, homeless people a lot. But
Can I get a job in Seattle? Let's talk to Eddie first.
I know. Are we related, Eddie?
My cousin Eddie.
My cousin Eddie. He's my cousin. I told you.
Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Use our
Yeah.
link and do it today. Get one of these beef sticks, baby. How many grams of protein?
20.
18 grams of protein.
Yeah.
That'll
I
make
round up.
That'll make you.
Make it horny.
First-
You tweet out something awesome, and then you eat one of those. Lori's gonna get it.
Oh my God. Form energy, baby.
She's
Get all the
gonna get
different.
it.
Try all the different flavors, man. It's really unbelievable. You see what Nick's doing? First Form Nick?
Yeah, he's doing. I
Like
think
triathlon?
yeah, I
He's
know,
doing like
right?
every swimming.
He was swimming through it was
oh
like
my
Creve Coeur
God,
Lake or something.
I know, dude.
Snakes in there.
Makes me feel like I'm just not
I'm a-
doing
I
anything.
know.
My hip flexor's really been bothering me
You-
too.
Your body's just
No, my hip flexor's been bothering me. Illinois Recovery Center.
From what?
man.
Driving?
I don't know.
From tweeting?
Could be.
What do you do?
When I tweet,
What strains your body? Like, what do you do?
I should
throughout
go on
day?
the DL.
We should do a little. We should do the golf thing, but we should also go to a gym and work out and to see how you work out.
No problem. Because I know you're trying to chirp, but like
Trying to chirp.
I know my way around the gym.
Trying to chirp.
I know my way around there. Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. What?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. What?
Illinois Recovery Center.
Simon Wang from China.
Is it Z or is it XANG?
Simon Wang. Is that his name?
I told you there's a few of the
God dang.
there's a few Wangs in
My boy.
There's a few Wangs
The
in,
Wang dog.
in my neighborhood, dude.
I know there is. And one doesn't cut his goddamn grass.
IRC, Illinois Recovery Center, baby.
Simon Wang, baby. What up?
If you
Goddamn, boy.
are in need of help or you know
Oh, never
somebody
mind.
that else is, just know there's somebody that is waiting for your phone call that wants to help you
Simon
and allow
Wang.
you to be you again and get back to the life that you know you want to live, man. And there's a lot of people out there, they don't know how to get the help.
Simon
But
Wang
this is
becomes
your
the
route
highest
to do
drafted
so.
player and born in China, going 33rd to the Sharks.
Wow.
Simon Wang, baby.
He blocks shots, dude. He's a fucking big ass defenseman.
He's big.
I
China.
love watching him play.
Oh, yeah? Is he a right or left shot?
I think he is a lefty.
Want to bet?
Illinois Recovery Center,
Simon.
Cam.
Right there in Swansea, Illinois. You got Jacob, you got Eric, and you got Chrissy Boy Pondoff.
Everybody.
Awesome guys, man. They're here to help you. Right there in Swansea, Illinois.
Yes, they are.
Easy to get to.
Reach
They
out
will
to
take
them.
care of you. They love you, and they want to help you. They've
Hat
all been
launch,
through shit.
baby.
Hat launch, baby. Let's go. I need some new hats.
Yeah, we need some new hats. We're going to do some video content, too.
Yeah.
Hat launch, man. No one makes hats like Hat launch.
They do a damn good job.
I mean, America's #1 customized
Damn good.
source for custom hats in America. They do T-shirts, too. Nobody does it like Hat launch. They all fit so comfortably, too,
Damn
man.
good.
They can put your logo on a hat. They can create a logo for you. Quick turnaround, maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah. Easy.
Best quality.
Mm-hmm.
We love our friends over there at Hat Launch, man. Hatlaunch.com. Danny, the whole crew, Jordan, everybody
Love you
over there.
guys.
Love our friends over there at Hat Launch, man. Jersey generator. Order one of these jerseys today. You can get a Cam and Strick jersey if you want. You can create your own jersey. Talk to Mark. He'll hook you up and tell you how to do it. Use the promo code CAM10 or Andy10. So far, most people are using Andy10.
They like
It's
you
the way
more.
it goes. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Blue Note Roofing, 314-920-5713. Gutters, siding, soffit, fascia, roofing, whatever it is you need. Give them a call today, 314-920-5713 for Blue Note Roofing. David Novak, baby. No doubt about it. Bellman? Cam at Bellman, you get
Swinging
no.
dicks. Swinging dicks.
But you do get sushi and flavored water. Over there in Troy,
funny.
Missouri,
It's funny.
Buick GMC, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on one side of the street. Say to Danny and Dale.
Danny, Dale,
Kenny.
goddamn, boy. Happy 4th of July, guys. I
Everybody.
love all you guys, man.
Yes.
Enjoy it.
You
Barbecue, do your thing.
Absolute best. Hey, we thank Eddie O, man.
Thanks, Eddie.
He's the best.
Love you guys, man.
Best
My
in
cousin Eddie.
Best in the business.
We're going to get a job in Seattle
He's the
because
best.
we're
in the
cousins with
business.
him.
Let's go, baby.
Love you guys.
Eddie O.
See
Enjoy the
homies.
4th of July, everybody.
Love you guys.
Yerk! Let's go! Cam's a shit kicker, 2 bombs in the league. Soul dragging cougars, no time for fatigue. And he's a shit talker, stirring up the show. Never played a shift, but he's ready to go. My check for check, here comes show.